taking the online race broadcast performance to the next level. This is the Full Velocity Network.
Well, a little bit chilly and a little bit delayed, but good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network here live tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway, race number 5 of the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs. Can't believe we're already 5 races in after tonight of the 10 that make off the playoffs, and race number 2 of the UFI Round of 12. And we welcome all of you out there in YouTube land for watching us here this evening. We've had an awesome action-packed night from the Talladega Super Speedway. It's been a great 4 races we've seen here through this freight of the FTF Jones Cup playoffs, and we're going to have an awesome night here on hand here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Phil the cast here along with Todd Stanton and Joe Allen on the call as always for the Full Velocity Network. And Todd, what more can you say? I mean, it feels like we come home anytime we come to Talladega. We've been here so many times to broadcast races like this, but I can't remember many, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2, but this really has a big race type of feel to it tonight. And I mean, it's the FTF Jones Cup Series at Talladega. It's playoff time. This is the true wild card race of this whole playoff format.
Yeah, definitely a true wild card race of this whole format here. This evening, a lot of guys, somebody could come out with a win that was necessarily not going to get a win and be into the next round. So, again, Talladega Super Speedway, game changer. Things happen in a blink of an eye here at 200 miles an hour. Things can happen, like I said, Phil. And when you do, it could end your season as being in that chase, or it could actually prevail you to hoist that championship trophy up at the end of the season. So it could do a number of things here at Talladega, and this is one of those things that's in the chase format. A lot of people question why Talladega Super Speedway is in the chase, but it's always produced some pretty good racing.
It makes for some really good racing. It's going to make for some really good TV, and that's what it's all about here tonight, highlighting this series. But our emphasis, of course, the 12 drivers alive here for the FTF Jones Cup Series Championship there, Joe Allen. But, I mean, come on now. It's Talladega. We have a 38-car field. I mean, for those 12 drivers, I mean, you got to look around you tonight and recognize what's around you, and it's going to make for a really awesome night here.
Yeah, absolutely. With a guy like Taylor Morgans, who secured his spot into the round of the SRA Round of 8, he comes into Talladega with a weight lifted off of his shoulders. Basically, he doesn't have the inevitable and the unknown of super speedway racing that he's going to have to deal with moving forward. Then you have guys like Blake McCandless, among others, who are on the outside looking in, who are arguably going to try and do everything they can to hopefully run up front and steal a win here, as well as some of the non-chase drivers that are out there just trying to get a win in general to try and spoil the playoff party for some of the other guys. And, you have a lot of new faces that have come out that haven't run a lot of FTF races so far this year, and you got some of the veterans, and when you mix all of that together, it could potentially be a recipe for disaster or a recipe for some really good and exciting racing. 38 guys out on the racetrack, almost a full field, basically a full field here tonight, because we take up server slots ourselves being in here broadcasting. So almost a full field, just missed knockout qualifying, I believe, for these guys. So arguably, whatever way it goes, it's going to be filled with a lot of drama and implications, as our friend David Schildhouse would say. And I think not only us, but our fans out there in YouTube land are going to be in for one hell of a show tonight.
Oh, certainly. That's right. Buckle down. And Joe, I hope you're doing all right. Todd, it's really, really chilly here at Talladega today. Almost sub-zero, freezing Arctic-like temperatures at Talladega. I mean, grab a scarf and settle in, man. Hope you got that hot cocoa, that hot coffee ready, because it's one chilly night. But what do you think the air temp is going to do to these race cars?
It's going to create a whole bunch of different ball games. And they say that up here in the Northeast, that these motors run a lot better when it's colder out, and I believe that's going to happen here this evening. Maybe a little bit less chance of seeing motors grenade here this evening with this colder temperature. It's going to be interesting, but I know Joe was kind of predicting that it was going to be 70 degrees, but all of a sudden the weather changed so quick. He had no time to change the weather conditions here tonight. But yeah, we thought it was going to be 70 degrees. It's 0.
Yeah, Joe, you got anything to add on that before we elaborate here? What's going on with our playoffs here? So I know you're on our screen ticker. It usually says 70 degrees, but these guys have got the track temp to 0 degrees tonight for the air temperature. It's really going to add some extra kind of horsepower and speed and some downforce to these race cars, which, we hear CTS physics tonight with these cup cars. I mean, it's going to make for one tremendously good show. How adept do you think, 3-wide racing we're going to see here this evening?
I think it's going to change the dynamic entirely. We're used to seeing, usually anywhere from 70 to the 60 degree range when you're at super speedways is a normal temperature setting. But these guys out here at FTF, they try to do everything they can to mimic realism as best as possible. And sometimes you have to, set the weather to a little bit of a lower degree setting to achieve those high speeds that you would normally see in an actual race, which is what they've done here. So, you're going to see a lot of high-end speeds from these cars in the draft, more than likely. 3-wide racing, 2-wide racing, guys making moves that are going to be exciting to see on TV. So I think those are definitely things to be excited about and to look forward to this evening.
Oh, absolutely. We highlight real quick before we get down to the pre-race activities to get this field under the green flag. 12 drivers coming in tonight, still eligible for that FTF Jones Cup Series playoff championship. 2 weeks from tonight, we move on to the SRA Round of 8. Taylor Morgan's off the win of last week. He'll advance on to that next round there, that Round of 8. But you see the likes of Kevin McAdams in there, Colin Keister, David Schildhaus, Derek Justice, Jason Justice, and Maverick Morrow. That's your top 7. Currently tied for the 8th and final position would be Corey Carper, the number 30, the 71 of Chris Wetz. Those two guys battling for that last spot. Also on the outside looking in, 5 markers back, we find Matt Vassar, Andrew Swartz also there as well, 6 points back. And Blake McCandless, the last of those eligible drivers, 15 points back. But looking at the qualifying times here, Todd, looks like our buddy Blake has qualified himself on the pole, and it's almost a do-or-die must-win situation for him here tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of a must-win situation for Blake McCandless tonight. We're going to have to see what's going to happen here this evening, but I'm going to throw it as we honor this greatest nation with the playing of our national anthem down to trackside.
And we're back here to Talladega Super Speedway, the national anthem to get us started here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. Race number 5 for the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs, the Doritos 500K, presented by Mountain Dew. Got a nice long race ahead of us here tonight, 117 laps. Stage format tonight, 30 laps, and 57 laps will be the distance here this evening. So, Todd Stanton, we have a big field here. So without further ado, what do you say we dive straight into the starting lineup?
And now the starting lineup for the FTF Doritos 500K from the Talladega Super Speedway. Starting on the pole, driving the number 74, that will be Blake McCandless, timing in with a 51.679. His dance partner to the outside, the 193, that's Rick Johnson.
Row number 2, we find on the inside the driver of car number 9, that is Brandon Lawson, and to his outside aboard car number 8, that's Jordan Buster.
Inside row number 3, an all justice row, I should say. Inside row number 3. Starting in that 5th starting position, driving the number 31, that's Derek Justice. And his tangoing partner to the outside, that's his brother. That's Racing Jason Justice starting in 6th.
And no justice, no peace there in row number 3. Row number 4, we find car number 14 to the inside coming in this evening. 3rd place in the standings. That, of course, is Colin Keister. And to his outside aboard car number 2, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, that is Tom Sylvain.
Starting inside row number 5 in that 9th starting position, driving the number 37, that's Ryan Naraki. And outside of him, driving the number 24, that's Kyle Riley.
Row number 6, we find the driver of car number 26 to the inside, the Doritos sponsored machine. Second place in the standings, we find Kevin McAdams. And to his outside aboard car number 56, that's John Poole III.
Starting in that 13th starting position, driving the number 57, that's Maverick Morrow. And outside of him, driving the number 083, welcome back, Rob Larkin.
15th position tonight, we find the driver of car number 83. That is Noah Hart. And to his outside, aboard car number 17. He's currently on the outside looking into these playoffs. That, of course, the Carhartt Ford. That is Matt Vassar.
Next row back, starting at 17th starting position, that's the number 92. That's Matt Durr. And outside of him, driving the 71, that's Chris Wetz.
Rolling off tonight from row number 10, we find the driver of the number 0. That is Alex Ruth. And to his outside, aboard car number 7, that'll be Jonathan Taylor. What do you say we throw this thing trackside for tonight's command?
Drivers, start your engines!
Starting 21st on the field, driving the number 47, that's Sonny Taltman. Outside of him, driving the number 76. In 22nd position, that's Noah Carmichael.
Rolling off from 23rd tonight, we find the driver of the 00. That is Johnny Gardner. And to his outside, aboard of a double knot 5. Same car, new face. We welcome to the FVN network, John Van Gorder in the 005, rolling off 24th.
Rolling off 25th on the field, driving the number 53, that's Justin Malolo. And outside of him, driving the number 11, that's HP Hardy.
Next row back, we find the driver of the 67, one of those drivers on the outside looking in. That is Andrew Swartz. And to his outside, 28th position, deep in the field tonight, we find the champ, David Schildhaus, aboard car number 20.
Next row back, starting in, I believe that's going to be about the 27th or 28th position, 27th to 28th position here. That's going to be the number 97. Outside of him, driving the number 54, that's DJ Curtis.
Rolling off tonight from inside the 31st position, aboard car number 36, that is Taylor Morgans. And to his outside in the 174, that's Felipe Teixeira.
Next row back is Adam Kodal and Corey Carpenter.
Arnold Columbia and Chris Barnes will make up the next row. Michael Frisch and Spencer Gilmore. That'll round out our 38 car field here tonight. The Doritos 500K presented by Mountain Dew at the Talladega Superspeedway. Race number 2 of the 3 that make up this UFI round of 12. One more week to go before we get all the way to that cutoff race, and can't believe we've already come so far. But what do you say, Todd? The field working its way through turns number 3 and 4. We're about to put this thing under the green flag. 117 laps. I mean, it's an extra distance type race here tonight. What do you think these guys are thinking through these opening laps?
Well, some of these guys that are in there trying to pick up some of them stage points, trying to get their way into the next round of 8. That's the SRA round of 8. So those guys thinking about that. Other guys thinking about win and win only here this evening. They're not even in the round of 12 right now. They don't even want to concentrate on the round of 8. They want to win here on the Full Velocity Network. Pace truck takes that hard. Left-hand turn down the pit road. We're getting ready to send these guys as they get ready to put the loud pedal down. The loud pedal is indeed going to be down. Green flag is in the air. I'm trying to actually go down through there, trying to see where their restart zone was. Did not see it that time. That's my fault. But these guys put that loud pedal down. Lap and a half to get up to full song here. Blake McCandless takes the lead here early on in this event to number 9 right there. Behind him on the bottom side is the top and the bottom going to work in lockstep here tonight. Is the middle groove going to be there? We already got guys jockeying to the back. They have different strategy plays. Jason Justice into the middle in that 16 Bud Light machine.
Yeah, in the middle there, 3 wide. He'll make his way around Jordan Buster, who's going to roll off the outside lane. Rick Johnson started from the outside pole. He's had an awesome week here at Talladega. He's picked up multiple wins around the whole NR2-on-3 community. He had a great qualifying run outside pole, but he is stuck first car in the outside lane. Now a couple more cars going to sweep up to the outside. Red car up there in the going. I believe that may have been the number... I think it's a 37 there, Todd. The 37 of our Ryan Naraki, the red car, making a move up to the outside.
I can't really see where Ryan Naraki is right now. It's the number 9 of Brandon Lawson, that pink car. For breast cancer awareness is Brandon Lawson in that number 9. He's up on the top shelf of the Speedway. A couple of guys going up to the extreme top groove here as they work down the back straightaway. You got Blake McCandless on the bottom. You got the 31 of Derek Justice also on the bottom side of the Speedway. Those guys pushing in lockstep. Then you got the middle groove that has formed with Brandon Lawson, the 14 of Colin Keister. You got Rick Johnson in the 193, Jason Justice, Tom Sylvain. Those guys all up top right now trying to run down this bottom lane. Right now the bottom lane has a little bit of an edge, a little more cars pushing down there, and that is the shortest way around the Talladega Super Speedway.
Well, they call it the shortest lane, but I'm not sure it's the fastest way around. I think you're going to see the middle lane and ultimately maybe the top side be that fastest lane around. Is now working lap number 3 through the east end of the Speedway through turns number 1 and 2. Inside lane trying to peek out there to the advantage. Pulls it up Blake McCandless, badly needing a win here, or at the very least a tremendously strong run this evening. He's pulling up the inside lane, but the outside lane prevailing toward turn 3, Todd. Brandon Lawson with help of Colin Keister. He's going to peek a nose out there to the lead to turn 3.
Yeah, he's able to pull up just a little bit by a bumper by that number with that number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Just a bumper around the number 74 of Blake McCandless. These guys fighting tooth and nail down here through the trial here at the Talladega Super Speedway. McCandless still fighting back on the inside. He wants to lead as many laps as he can. And that number 74 machine, that time by, going to go to Blake McCandless by 0.0025 over Brandon Lawson, Derek Justice, Colin Keister, Ryan Naraki. That is your top 5 right now in the running order. Oh, we made contact towards the middle of the field. Tom Sylvain, and we're stacking them up in the middle of the field.
As somebody once upon a time, sung, we're stacking them up, but that's exactly what happened there off of turn number 2. So multiple drivers going around there. The 2 of Tom Sylvain, it happened right around where that that nice looking throwback Rusty Wallace looking scheme happened there, but issues going on toward turn number 3. 2 car, not sure if he got loose or what was going on there, jittering on my screen really bad, so not sure that had much to do with it there, but I believe Joe Allen's going to have the great look at it here on the Full Velocity Rewind. So what do you say, Joe? Take it away.
Thank you, guys. We're going to focus our look on, as you said, that number 2 of Tom Sylvain. And, as you come down to the corner here, we're going to see Tom actually disappear a little bit off the screen. So the aliens tried to grab him, and they threw him right back in the middle of the pack. Arguably the worst thing that you could see happen here on a super speedway. So, as you see right here, slow motion, there he goes disappearing. Still gone, still gone, still gone, still gone. And he'll come back at some point. There he comes back. And right down in front of the 0, right in that middle groove, guys, and just nowhere for guys to go. Guys scattering all around. We see the 56 involved, the 7's in there, Rob Larkin's in the back. There goes Taylor Morgan's in the 36, our winner last week. I don't know if Taylor made any contact with anybody, but he's involved in an accident. We see the 97 rolling around, the 74 Felipe Teixeira. Just cars piling in. This happened right in the middle of the pack, guys, and it's cars piling in. Corey Carpenter, championship guy back there. There's our friend David Schildhouse in the 20. He's back there. The 76 of Noah Carmichael. 47 of Sonny Tallman. Just a blocked racetrack, guys. It's a parking lot out of turn 2 here, and that's super speedway racing at its finest, unfortunately. Guys stopped all over the racetrack. There's the 67 down there. Just a very big accident, and that's what happens when the aliens try to grab you, and apparently Tom wasn't playing nice with him, so they threw him right back in the middle of traffic, and really nowhere the 0 could have gone there. I believe that's Alex Smith, and just nowhere he could have gone there to fix that, unfortunately.
Nothing you could do at all, and exactly the reason why, Todd. They call Talladega, you put it in the chase, it becomes the ultimate equalizer race. The truest of wild cards there could possibly be, and what a worse time for a guy like Tom Sylvain to have those issues there, the aliens wanting to abduct him and, spitting him right back. But he was up inside the top 10, and you put 38 guys right up together, all tucked up in the draft. Guys behind really have no chance at all, no reaction time. You see guys that are in this playoffs scenario, guys like Andrew Swartz on the outside looking in, badly needing to survive and have a good run at Talladega. Well, his car is all tore up with heavy damage there to the nose of the 67, but that just shows you the true wild card feeling, the true anxiety feeling these guys have as drivers that come into the scenario, and it just makes for all the more drama for us to cover here on FDN.
Yeah, it makes for a lot of drama to cover here on the Full Velocity Network. A lot of things have been going on, and these guys all down on pit road right now, getting service to their from their pit crews to their cars, and a lot of barrel bond going on some of these cars. A lot of these guys taking wild rides through that wreck, but it looks like penalties are up and down pit road, and not sure what's happening on pit road, but it looks like penalties. Maybe the way of the land here is we're listening to some of these guys' communication. Some of these guys have got penalties on pit road. It's tough break, but like I said, John Poole out of this event already in that number 56 machine. Tough break for him. I believe he was heavily damaged in that wreck, and that was a melee over there in the corner, Phil.
Yeah, certainly was a melee there, and you know the guys may have a long night here with some tore-up race cars. Gadden and staff's got a long night ahead of them as well, and we said we get 117 laps, so everybody's gonna buckle in. We're gonna take this for the best we can possibly do here. 6 laps of 117 in, and just a small break in the action here, Todd, under caution.
It looks like it's starting to rain here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Rain or some kind of snow that's going on here. We got some adverse effects, so it looks like we may have a little bit of a rain delay here. We're trying to figure out what's going on here with FTF and stuff. So we maybe a little bit of rain on the track. It looks like these guys still slowing down on the track. So we're going to wait and see if they're going to pull these cars down to pit road and see if we actually do get that rain delay. It looks like it's letting up just a tad bit, so we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. Is so a little bit of moisture on the racetrack. Looks like a cloud that worked its way through turns number 3 and 4. Call that we don't want to call it the FVN black cloud. Absolutely not. But said maybe the FTF cloud here that's followed the Jones Cup Series at Talladega here tonight. With the sub-zero temperatures, a little bit of moisture, I mean, the track's going to be a little bit cold and slickery enough. So these guys certainly got their work cut out for them here on Full Velocity Network. Talladega Super Speedway, the Doritos 500K presented by Mountain Dew. Race number 5 for the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs. We started off with the SMS Leagues Round of 16, with 3 races. Last week we started the UFI Round of 12. First race won by Taylor Morgans, and we got 2 more races left in this round tonight at Talladega. Hopefully we get this race in with any less delays, and on to next week at the Kansas Speedway, where that's going to be great. Elimination night next week, but you got to survive Talladega first there, Todd. Multiple cars tore up in this fracas, and it may be a long night for some of these guys that are damaged.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long night. As these cars still going around slowly around here, seeing if they're going to actually have to pull these guys in for a brief rain delay and get ourselves restacked, repacked here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Just waiting on the word from the FTF officials of what's going to be going on here. These guys just motoring around there, and it looks like some of these guys are just waiting. Waiting, and they may have to. We have not heard word from the FTF admin crew, the adminship, the leadership. I know there's other people saying that they're going to pull it down, but it looks like they may be going to do a rain delay now. So rain delay, they're pulling them down to pit road.
All right, guys, so we apologize for the delay here. Guys are going to have to be called on to pit road. This race is going to go under a brief delay here, and race officials have to deem the worthiness of the racetrack and get this thing all cleaned off. So we're going to put this thing on standby a little bit. Call this, the first ever full velocity rain delay in here. We're going to throw it up on standby, and we'll be back here with a brief update here in a couple of minutes here. The FTF Jones Cup Series at Talladega Super Speedway. All right, guys, welcome back to the Talladega Super Speedway. Still under a rain delay here in the Doritos 500K from Talladega, presented by Mountain Dew. These guys at FTF, got their heads together here and trying to make the best of a bad situation with the racetrack. And we'll have word from these guys. Looks like things will be wrapping up here in a timely fashion. We hope to put this event back underway here, probably about 5 minutes or so. So we'll let you guys enjoy some more tunes out there. Keep this thing on standby. Just giving you guys a brief update up here from the booth, and we'll be right back here. We got more news here in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for staying with us. All right, guys, back at the Talladega Super Speedway here. Just a brief update. Track conditions have improved. These guys are going to get back on the speedway here in a couple of minutes. What is going to happen is the incident out on the racetrack there, previous there to this caution flag, guys got all tore up in, was due to moisture on the racetrack. So the guys at FTF have decided to allow these guys to go jump into backup cars, have a fresh chance, and these guys are all going to freshly requalify. So it's going to almost be like starting this race over. Shortened distance now, we're going to shorten it down to 100 laps. So we're going to let these guys get their P's and Q's all set up here. These guys are currently into qualifying mode here, putting on a mount qualifying lap, and the guys out there in the backup cars that need be, and these guys will be back on the grid here. So give us about 2 or 3, maybe 4 minutes, and we'll be back here live on the airwaves with the Doritos 500K at the Talladega Super Speedway. All right, guys, thank you for sticking with us here live tonight on the Full Velocity Network. Sometimes when you have live TV, some weird things kind of happen, and we're here ready to go once again for the Doritos 500K. Here at the Talladega Super Speedway, race number 5 for the FTF Jones Cup Series. Now, said that we've had a little bit of issue delay here, rain and moisture on the racetrack, and this thing's going all sorts of awry for everybody. So these guys have all got fresh race cars. These guys have all gone out there with these different track conditions, and they put down some new mock qualifying times here. So we're going to have a whole new assortment of a lineup here, and going to have a little bit of different feel here. Now 100 laps is going to be the main event distance for this race, so it's going to break the stages up now to 30 laps for stage 1, 30 laps for stage 2, and 40 laps to the final stage of racing here. So it may be a shorter race there, Todd, by 17 laps, but what we're going to see here, I mean, these stages are going to be like a mini race inside a race, like they're designed to do. They go a little bit faster at, say, an intermediate track, but at a super speedway, they're almost like a little mini race within themselves.
Yeah, definitely a little mini race in yourself. Just to say something out there, though, Phil, one thing that hasn't changed, I'm still in the booth. You're still in the booth. Joe's still in the booth. Temperature hasn't changed. It's still cold. It's still wicked cold out there. The qualifying order has changed, and starting on the pole, driving the number 8 is Jordan Buster. Outside of him is the number 26 of Kevin McAdams. Starting third, the number 16 of Jason Justice. Starting fourth is the number 9, that's Brandon Lawson. Fifth is Justin Malolo. Matt Vassar in the 17, he starts sixth. Seventh is Derek Justice. Eighth is Colin Keister in the 14. Chris is in the 51, he's ninth. And 10th is the 193 of Rick Johnson.
Rolling off 11th here on the restart will be the 36 of Taylor Morgans. The 7 of Jonathan Taylor rolls off 12th. 13th, the 71 of Chris Wetz. Alex Roof, the 0, roll off 14th. Adam Codall, the 33, he's going to start in 15th position. Rob Larkin Jr. will start off 16th. Ryan Naraki in the 37, he rolls off 17th.
Say it with me. Drivers, start your...
All right, this is another mock there. Gentlemen, start your engines there. We'll let that all get sorted out. 18th starting position here in the restack, the 74 of Blake McCandless. He's a guy who really loses out in the requalifying draw there. 19th, the 174 of Felipe Teixeira. Running at your top 20, the 76 of Noah Carmichael will start 20th.
21st to 67 of Andrew Swartz. 22nd to 57, that's Maverick Morrow. 23rd, the 47 of Sonny Tallman. 24th, Noah Hart in the number 83. 25th to number 30 of Corey Carpenter. 26th to 54 of DJ Curtis. 27th to double knot, that's a 00, that's Johnny Gartner. 28th is a 005 of John Van Gorder. Columbia is in 29th, and the number 39, Kyle Riley, is 24th. Or 30th in the 24.
31st, we find the 28 of Chris Barnes. Spencer Gilmore rolls off 32nd aboard car number 79. H.B. Hardy rolls off 33rd in the 11. John Poole, the 3rd, rolls off 34th aboard car 56. The champ, David Schildhouse, will have to come from 35th position. And Mark Zabeka will make up the 36th car starting field in the car number 97. So 36 drivers here, Todd, have recalled to the bell here for 100 laps around the Talladega Super Speedway. We get a look once again. It's so good to see it back in the carnage and destruction we put this thing through the last couple of days. The Full Velocity semi-rig has made its way here to Talladega tonight, all to be a part of the festivities known as the FTF Jones Cup Series. Really good to see that back out there. A little bit of refab and a little bit of work done here to get out to Talladega, but certainly thrilled to have the semi-rig with us. Thrilled to have all you guys out there on YouTube. Thanks for sticking with us here tonight. A little bit of a delay, a little bit behind the 8 ball as the guys at the FTF Jones Cup Series, had their work cut out for them tonight. And we're going to have, one more great attempt here. This race through the next 100 circuits will make for really fantastic. We'll update the point scenarios once again, but what these guys have now there, Todd, fresh race cars and 100 laps around this 2.66 mile Talladega Super Speedway. So what do you say? Let's throw this thing back under the green flag conditions.
Yeah, the field is restacked. It is repacked. New front row, Jordan Buster, Kevin McAdams. That's the 8 and that's the 26. We're just waiting for these guys to go green flag. Loud pedal is down. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Lap and a half to get up to full song. Different front row. These guys, hopefully the aliens don't look out for Tom Sylvain this time. And we have good, clean, and green racing here at Talladega.
Yeah, clean and green racing off of turn number 2 off the inside row. We finally, that's a 26 of Kevin McAdams, a 16 of Jason Justice to the inside. Now 3 wide down the back straightaway. Brandon Lawson, that beautiful pink Target Dodge stuck in the middle. 3 wide racing for the lead here to turn 3.
Yeah, there was 3 wide racing there momentarily for the lead. Those guys now dropping back on the top shelf of the Speedway. Jordan Buster doing the same thing that Blake McCandless did before that rain delay. He's working on the bottom side, this time having a different tangoing partner. That's the number 16 of Jason Justice. Racing Jason running in that second spot. He's side by side, imaginary door handle to imaginary door handle with that number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Lawson in the top group, or the middle group I should say, doesn't seem to be going as well as it was earlier on in the stages of these events.
No, certainly not. Looking at third car on the inside. How about that beautiful green paint scheme there tonight for the 53 of Justin Malello? Sometimes it's not easy being green, but he's making it look easy. Up in the top 5, third car in the outside lane, but racing up front there, Brandon Lawson, Matt Vassar, the 17. They're going to run in the outside lane. They're going to try to make it side by side for the lead. Jordan Buster holding him off in a turn 3.
Yeah, Jordan Buster able to hold off the challenges from the number 9 of Brandon Lawson and the number 17 of Matt Vassar, but these guys get one whale of a run coming off the corner down through the tri-oval, almost up alongside of the number 8 of Jordan Buster as we hit the restart zone and the start finish line now. They flash by. Jordan Buster leads that time by the number 9 right now, trying to fight him off. Meanwhile, third group up top has formed. That's being led by the number 7 of Taylor, Jason Taylor, in that number 7 machine. He's up on the top shelf for the Speedway, the extreme top shelf. He has help from the number 083. That's Rob Larkin. Where'd he come from? As he's coming up through the field like a lightning rod here down the back straightaway.
Yeah, anybody knows Rob Larkin at all, he knows his way around Talladega. Gonna push Jonathan Taylor through the outside lane there, 3 wide. Those guys are running outside of top 10 the last time around. They're up there now battling for ranks of a top 5. 3 wide there, almost for the race lead now. Todd off a turn 4 through the tri-oval. 3 wide for the lead. Can't believe it.
Yeah, 3 wide for the lead. We have a bottom group, we have a middle group, and we have a top group here at Talladega Super Speedway. This is racing at its finest, and we're still going down through turn number 1. It's still Jordan Buster with the lead just barely by a car length over that second line there of the number 9 of Brandon Lawson. Don't forget or count out that number 7. They got one whale of a run. Looks like the middle group starting to stall as the 7 inches ahead of the number 9 of Brandon Lawson.
Yeah, starting to inch ahead is that top lane with Jonathan Taylor there. The inside lane holding on strong as they hit the edges of turn 3. Jordan Buster there, Jason Justice, Justin Malello, those guys, all making up that front of the inside lane. They're going to peek out maybe 2, almost the top 3 of that inside lane, all going to be clear there off of turn number 4 down through the tri-oval. Top lane starting to fade back a little bit. Jonathan Taylor and Rob Larkin made that run almost off the lead. They're going to drop now all the way back to the clutches of the top 10. Look at the move for the 17 of Matt Vassar. That awesome looking, Mike McLaughlin, Gould's Pumps throwback scheme there, that 17 to the outside. They got 3 distinct groups there, Todd. Can the outside lane make the run? They get a good head of steam down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they got a good head of steam as the 17 of Matt Vassar, like you said, he left the middle groove. He went all the way to the top. He's helping Taylor out there in the number 7 machine. Also, 083 of Rob Larkin, Blake McCandless up there. But they're not able to make any headways. That middle group still going strong here. Looks like they're still falling back just a little bit there to that middle groove. So these guys slicing and dicing their way through. Looks like guys trying to move from the bottom to the middle. 4 wide racing here through the tri-oval down the front straightaway, Phil.
And they're 4 wide down the front stretch. Taylor in the 7. He got a little bit shifted out of line. Rob Larkin going to force his way into that top lane to put him back 3 wide, but that definitely got a little bit interesting there. Those guys were 4 wide down through the tri-oval. Well, that narrows up on the racetrack. Good racing by these guys. And how about the run through the middle of the pack there? I see the 74 of Blake McCandless. Nobody's got a really good fast race car. He was trying to make his way up through the middle there to follow Rob Larkin. He just got the door slam shot from the number 0 car of Alex Roof. That's racing for about 15th position. 2 and now back to 3 wide racing once again off of turn 4.
Yeah, 2 and 3 wide racing through the middle portion of the pack right now. We got 2 wide racing up front still, though. Maintaining the lead, though, is that number 8 machine, I believe, of Jordan Buster. It is. Jordan Buster still up front with Jason Justice running in that second spot. Third is the 53 of Justin Malello. Fourth is Derek Justice, but he's under heavy pressure and heavy pursuit from that number 9 Target sponsored machine. That is Brandon Lawson. He's to the outside. Now Justin Malello goes to the outside here of these guys. And, oh, they're going to leave Justin Malello in the sucker hole. He's getting sucked up real quick there in the middle.
Yeah, he's going to free fall back through the field there in that middle groove. You know, he thought he had friends in Brandon Lawson and Colin Keiston, but they drop-kicked him out of line like a bad habit, stuck up in that middle hole. But what that's allowed, Todd, that inside lane has just got a big old head of steam. Those guys up front able to sneak away a little bit. Jordan Buster still able to maintain the lead there with Jason Justice, Derek Justice on the inside. But look at the run there. New guy to us here on Full Velocity. You know, name we have not called up much in our airwaves over the years. That number 51 Toyota of Michael Fritsch having a good run out of the gate. He's inside of a top 5 there, nestled in the inside lane. Good run so far for the 51. Good to see some fresh names out there.
Yeah, definitely good to see some fresh names out there as Talladega brings out a lot of different people and a lot of different people that normally don't race here at FTF or just race a very, very limited schedule. This is one of those things that the super speedway bug, you know, you can almost anybody can win from anywhere. It's a high-speed chess match, Talladega Super Speedway, and you might be able to win from 30th going into the last 5 laps. So it's an interesting effect there.
Oh, it certainly is. And looking at some great racing going on right now. We saw the inside lane prevailing. Well, how about the run the top has got here? Those guys all reformed nicely once they got Justin on the line. And Brandon Lawson's got that train rolling, put 9 to the race lead. Colin Kiesel, the 14, also the 26 of Kevin McAdams in the fray as well. Those guys shoving the top side. They've got 3, almost 4 cars clear, Todd, as they head toward turn 3.
Oh, you're saying the top side, but the extreme top side right now being led by the number 17 of Matt Vassar. He's a little bit back there from this group here in the middle. Looks like everybody leaving Jordan Buster down on the bottom side is the justices of Jason and Derek. They leave Jordan Buster. Now he has no more wingman in the justices. These guys all shaking around looking for different positions here throughout the field, and these guys now forming the middle groove once again.
Yeah, well, once upon a time when you saw that familiar, you know, red paint scheme number 8 out there, you always followed that car at the front of the field at Talladega. But these guys not thinking that highly there. Jordan Buster, he had the lead out there, had the pole here in this interim segment when we restarted this race. But, you know, now getting drop kicked to the bottom side, relinquishes the lead. He may surrender spots all the way outside the top 10 now as that top side really have begun to form once again. Matt Vassar got tucked up in line there. Looks like you got Brandon Lawson up there. He's got Colin Keister, McAdams. Taylor Morgan's that pink car up there as well. Those guys all starting to shove forward. Great side-by-side racing now off of turn 4 down through the tri-oval.
Yeah, great side-by-side racing. Right now, the edge, it looks like it's going to be the 193, Rick Johnson. But here comes the inside group firing back. The number 71 of Wets down on the bottom side. He's actually making some headway. But that time by Rick Johnson in the 193, he's going to lead that lap. But now he's going to relinquish it to the number 71 of Wets. Wets down on the bottom side with Justin Malone and the number 74 of Blake McCandless. Those guys all switching down to the bottom. Remember, just a little bit ago, we seen Justin Malone fall victim to that sucker hole, and he was about 18th position or so. Now already back up to that second spot.
Yeah, he certainly is. He is moving forward. Justin's definitely got a good piece here tonight at Talladega. If you see these awesome pictures being brought to you by the Full Velocity Network tonight, Joe Allen, you got your hands full down there with these, you know, the awesome pictures. 3 wide racing all over this racetrack, just like we anticipated here tonight. But, you know, you look at these groups, 3 wide, the top, the middle, the bottom lane, front, back of the pack. If you were out there right now with that Vegas Strong number 6 Cup car out here in the Jones Cup Series, where would you be most comfortable in this pack right now? No, we'll pause on Joe there. His caution flag has come to the Speedway. Contact once again now off of turn number 4. And I'm not sure how much of a look you got there, Todd. I just heard the tires squealing going on, but I'll have to go back myself and see what happened here to put us under the replay. But these guys were 3 wide all over this place, and it was only a matter of time there, the way these guys are starting to move around in that dirty air, the way these cars that are starting to bounce around here through the transitions at Talladega. Looked like it was just only going to be, you know, too much longer before contact did happen. And we do got our first official caution flag now, 12 laps in.
Yeah, first official caution flag, and this is going to be a doozy for Joe to see. It's not as big as the first initial one that we got to call with the alien inductions here, but it is a doozy. It doesn't look like heavily damaged cars, but I'm gonna leave that to Joe. Joe, I'm gonna throw it down to you. What happened to that? Bring out our first yellow here at Talladega Super Speedway.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead and take a look at our full velocity rewind, the second technically of the night, the first of this particular session. We're going to focus our attention on the 67 of Andrew Schwartz, as well as the 83 of Rob Larkin there, that red and yellow car, and then the primarily yellow and black car on the very high side there. Those things in slow motion. You see Rob here gets out of the throttle, almost runs into the back of the 17 of Astor, keeps it collected, and I think the 33 of Adam Kodal gets to the rear end of the 67, spins him down the track into the 51. Right in front of our previous race leader, Jordan Buster in the 8. There's David Schildhouse in the 20, just trying to avoid damage back there running around. See if we can back this thing up to a couple others. And guys just start to stack up behind him there. There's the 57 Maverick Morrow, another championship contender. The 28 of Chris Barnes is back there. The 79, the 00 of Johnny Gardner. Just a blocked racetrack, guys. Stacking up. Guys, this is a product of super speedway racing. Guys are checking up lines, and people are trying to avoid one another. And when you're running back into the 20th, 21st position, usually, by the time that checkup reaches you, it's like a chain reaction, unfortunately, and there's only so much that a guy can do back there. We're talking split-second decisions that these guys have to make to counteract these chain reaction checkups that you see all over the racetrack. So tough break there for the 67 of Arnold Columbia. I know he was one of our championship contenders. Saw a bunch of championship contenders back there that were involved in this as well. So tough break for all of those guys, and they'll have to rebound. But that's the nature of the beast here at Talladega. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Oh, it certainly is the nature of the beast, as you said. Anything going to happen here at Talladega? Anything will, but want to update. We looked at the updated, playoff standings coming in tonight, and we'll look all the way down to that 12th position. 15 points outside the cutoff line is our good buddy, our friend Blake McCandless, our broadcast colleague, done a couple of races. Well, listen, let's see if we can't talk to Blake and get his thoughts on what's going on and what his, outlook for the rest of the night is up. Blake McCandless, Phil from Full Velocity, buddy. You have a copy?
I got a copy, Phil. How's it going?
It's doing fantastic, bud. Good to talk to you once again here live on our airwaves. But, man, you come in tonight, as we said, 15 markers behind that cutoff rate. I mean, how much does this race feel like a do-or-die must-win for you here tonight, having this true wild card called Talladega?
I would say it's pretty much I wouldn't say it's kind of a doomsday, last chance race, but it's definitely turning up the pressure. I know we didn't come in here with the point advantage that we exactly wanted. Down a lot on playoff points and just didn't really have strategy work out for me at Charlotte. So I'm definitely going to be very aggressive tonight and try to get all the stage points and hopefully a race win if I can, because it looks like a win's going to be the only way I can get out of the round of 12.
Yeah, you say you're looking for that win. I mean, you coming tonight, you said 3 playoff points, so that's certainly, putting you at a disadvantage coming right out of the gate. But you say you're going to go out there and be aggressive, lead all the laps you can, go up there and get as many stage points as you can. But with the big crowd we got here tonight and the racing as close as could be, I mean, how far to the back of your mind does it stay that you need to survive this thing? Or do you go out there with that do or die that I need to have these points and I got to take maybe some unnecessary chances to get myself up front?
Phil, I'm going to be taking all the chances I can. I look up and I see Schildhouse and Colin Keister, Kevin McAdams, Derek Justice, and they have all the playoff points in the world to be able to maybe come in here and be a little bit safe, but I definitely don't have that luxury. We only got 2 races to go, and I haven't exactly been running as well on the mile and a half as I wish I would be. So, tonight's all about just being as aggressive as possible, and, hopefully we don't get caught up in anything, but the 74 Music City Drum Corps Dodge is going to be digging all night tonight, and maybe keep a few tabs around this car because it's going to be exciting.
All right, brother. Well, we're certainly going to do that. You guys getting one to go. I'll let you get those belts pulled tight, bud. But keep the fenders on that thing. Keep digging for us. I'm sure you'll do us proud. Good luck to us tonight, my friend.
Hopefully we find no more bugs in this thing, and we're able to just dig to the end.
All right. Well, Blake McCandless gonna, he's got his work cut out for him there tonight. Todd, you said just doesn't have those playoff points that these other guys may have to rely on, and said he's going to keep digging. We know Blake. We know he likes to be aggressive and take chances at some, nothing new for him whatsoever on these super speedways. But you got that big race feel that we do at Talladega, the FTF Jones Cup Series, the big crowd, the best of the drivers this community has to offer. I mean, that's a tall task for Blake tonight, but I think he's up to the challenge. He's got a big song ahead of him.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to take some chances, being 15 points out already to that cutoff line, and that's hard. I mean, you're going up against the best cat drivers here, probably in the NASCAR 2003 community that are around in the FTF stables, and these guys know how to do it. And a lot of these guys, the super speedway veterans, I say that have raced super speedways for most of their time here in NASCAR 2003, and that's been a long time for some of these guys. But they're really, really good at utilizing the draft and utilizing what they have to do towards the end. And if they got teammates, that's a big determining factor. And I know Blake's got some teammates out there willing to push him to that win.
No, he does. He's got his Hughes Sen Motorsports teammates out there. Colin Keister, Taylor Morgan. He'll try to give him a push. He's got buddies in the Crush stables. He ran the Team Crush colors most of the regular season. He's got the likes of Maverick Morrow out there. He's got friends like Rob Larkin, John Van Gorder. So Blake may have some help, so we'll have to see what those guys can do, maybe propel him. A lot of hungry other teams out there, the likes of Brandon Lawson, Justin Malello out there. I mean, Matt Vassar, David Schildhouse, the Vass House guys, Jason Justice. You can't count them guys out at any time either. Perennial, team championship winners over here at FTF. So the likes of this crowd, I mean, this win could certainly come from anywhere. Talladega and anybody type race you could win. And we got the best of the best stacked up here. Stacked and repacked off of turn number 4. Todd, what do you say we go back under green flag racing?
Yeah, restacked, repacked here into the trial. Just waiting for these guys to throw the green flag, and these guys are going to throw it quickly. And Blake McCandless looking to get off to a good start. Green flag is in the air. We're back to racing here. Loud pedal is down the front straightaway. Blake doesn't want to get too good of a restart, though. Some of these guys can chase you down in that gap and using the draft to their advantage. So you don't want to get too far out in front.
No, you certainly don't. We'll have to see how he makes that run off of turn number 2, the 74, glued to the low side of the racetrack. Help there from the 193 of Rick Johnson, also tucked up in line. So those guys trying to juke and jive, make something happen. Matt Vassar, the 17, also going to come to the low side of the racetrack. They're going to jockey for position. That top lane trying to make the run there. Brandon Lawson's got the 9 all wound up on that top side. High lane going places there off of turn 4.
Yeah, Highline going places off of turn number 4 down the back straightaway. So we're down up the front straightaway, I should say. Excuse me, into the tri-oval. The 193 trying to make up to places, and now we got another group forming way up high. And now here comes the number 9 of Brandon Lawson and the 0. They're going to form with the number 36. I believe that's Taylor Morgan's way up top. They're in that Kit Kat machine. That's one of your favorites there, Phil.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, the Kit Kat does make me hungry. I had to grab one of those at the local store last week when I was out and about. Made me think of Taylor. I almost sent the picture of that old Kit Kat. We'll see what that Kit Kat Chevrolet has got for us tonight. But inside line, Todd has broken away from the rest of this field as they hit turns number 3 and 4. Almost a good 10 cars are broken away out there. Now, caution flag on the speedway. A multiple car chain wreck catastrophe into turn number 3. The 9 of Brandon Lawson tore up. The 17 of Matt Vassar. The 0 car of Alex Ruth. Just amongst the many cars tore up in turns number 3 and 4. Carnage, drama, implications. It is all here live tonight on Full Velocity. Caution flag number 2. And this one may have claimed some victims there, Todd.
Yeah, indeed. It looked like it started from the leader, too, and that's going to be interesting. There's a lot of flipping going on, a lot of implications going on. I see the champ involved in that. A lot of cars heavily damaged, and unfortunately, it looks like a teammate bump draft going wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not seeing that completely, but completely right, because I don't have all the reviews and all the angles that Joe has down in the broadcast booth. I know we caught that a little bit live there. But I believe we're going to get ready for that Full Velocity rewind. We'll throw it down to Joe Allen. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, we caught that one on the live screen briefly, guys. We're going to focus on the leader. We just spoke with him. That's Blake McCandless. His teammate, 14 of Colin Keister, right behind him. We'll back this up just a little bit more, give us a little angle coming in. Throw this thing in slow-mo. And just a bad bump gone wrong at the front of the field, guys. And that begs the question, when is it too early to be pushing somebody as hard as we saw Colin pushing his teammate Blake? spins that 74 right around in front of the entire field. Great misses by the 17 of Matt Vassar, Rob Larkin in the 83 down there, Noah Hart. Championship contenders, we see Maverick Morrow down there, Chris Wetz in the 71 missing that. Kevin McAdams is in the middle of it. Taylor Morgan's in the middle of it. The 53, Justin Malillo, he's in it. The champ, David Schildhouse, down on the bottom. He and Corey Carpenter are in it. It's just cars all over the place. I believe that's the 9 car, Brandon Lawson, that's on his lid. The 0 of Alex Ruth is on his lid. The 74, Blake, he was up and over, rolling around. Derek Justice is in this one. Colin, obviously, is in this one in the 14. We thought Matt Vassar might have gotten around it, guys, but I'm seeing the 17 back in it right now still, so maybe Matt actually didn't end up getting around that like we thought he did. Jordan Buster is in it. There's the 51. He must have been way in the back, got himself slowed down. The 67 of Schwartz is back there. The 39 of Arnold Columbia is back there. So a lot of chase contenders involved in this one, guys, and this is really going to turn the tide on how this race goes for some of these other guys, and I'm sure some very unhappy people. And I'm sure that's going to make for an interesting team meeting down there at Huge Send Motorsports between the 74 and the 14 camp as well. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, it's certainly going to make some testy times for certain here. Live on Full Velocity here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The Doritos 500K presented by Mountain Dew, now under our second caution flag of the shortened 100-lap event here from Talladega. Under the caution flag, we just talked to Blake McCandless. Let's see if we can't catch up with our other broadcast partner and buddy, and the champ David Schildhouse out there in the 20 comes in tonight 4th in the standings. Got a big piece of that wreck. Hopefully the 20 is not tore up, but let's see if we can't talk to the champ here live on FEN. David Schildhouse, the cast from FEN, buddy. Do you have a copy?
Well, hi everybody. How are we doing in the FEN booth?
Well, it's been a trying night for us, been a trying night for you guys, and now for your Vast House Ford team. Damage to that race car, man. Now, first of all, how's the race car? Are you going to have anything left for these guys to go forward?
Yeah, I think we lucked out. We got a little bit of rear end damage sort of by the fuel filler on the left rear corner of the vehicle in that first wreck. We didn't get any damage in that wreck that we just got out of. Thankfully, we sort of spun through it but didn't hit anything. So I think we're fine. I think the 20 car, the Samsung Ford Fusion, will be fast still. We just got to stop wrecking here and race. It's a long race, and yeah, didn't get off to the best start either. Had our challenges, so we'll see what we can get here. But so far, we've had a little bit of luck on our side. Looking like Dale Jr. out here missing these wrecks.
Well, almost like that and almost not, because you definitely got a piece of a couple of them. But good to have a 20 may be okay and salvageable to maybe go on and have a good finish in this race. But we just talked to Blake a couple of minutes ago, David, and he comes in tonight, 12th in the standings, but the cutoff point is that top 8. He doesn't have a lot of playoff points. He's got a 15-point deficit to make up to even get to that cut line. You, on the other hand, coming in 4th in the standings, 74 playoff points to your credit, 25-point buffer over the cut line. How much is a race like Talladega, in the position you're in, how much stress are you feeling coming into the event tonight?
Oh, buddy, you know me. I don't feel any stress. I'm always just having fun. Enjoying this for what it is, since this will be my last time at Talladega here in NASCAR racing. But I'm not feeling any stress. I just want to get through this, get a good finish. If we can get a top 10 or a top 5, that'll be great. But, other people have problems tonight. We've already seen that we have the capability to have wrecks, so there could be chase guys caught up in that. And if I can get through it and come out of here with a decent points day, then that makes a much more manageable Kansas next week. So I'm not feeling any stress. I got a smile on my face. And everyone out here in Schildhouse Nation, they're doing the same. We're having fun.
All right, my friend. Well, keep that 20 car, on the ground. Keep it pointing in the right direction. Miss the rest of the carnage if you can. And as always, buddy, good to talk to you. Let's do this again soon. Bring that thing forward, and maybe, who knows? I mean, every time we do this and make predictions, somehow, some way, you always find your way to see Joe in victory lane. So let's see if you can pull another rabbit out of your hat. What do you think?
I like that. It's been a few weeks since I've got to see my buddy Joe in victory lane, so that sounds like a good date to make, and hopefully we can make that come true. Hope you guys have a great rest of your broadcast. We'll put on a show for the fans.
All right, absolutely. That's our good buddy David Schildhouse. We'll put him back up to the Vast House Racing headquarters, let him get back to it. But just different things to talk about there, Todd. We talked to Blake, who's kind of on the outside looking in, have to go balls out to make something happen. And then you got David Schildhouse, always cool, calm, and collected, never really stressing anything, and just a guy out there having a good time and knowing, yeah, well, luck will play out, and I'll be fine going forward. I mean, it's two completely different trains of thought how to attack this race tonight.
Yeah, there's always different ways to attack the race, and this track is definitely tough to attack and try to be able to stay up front. And these guys getting ready to restack, repack, and line up double file here, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. Rob Larkin, Noah Hart, that's your top two. Maverick Morrow, Chris Wetz, and John Van Gorder inside the top five. John Van Gorder with a good run. That 005, that's normally the Mr. Excitement David Day ride. John Van Gorder borrowing that ride, so actually doing a fantastic job there, running in that fifth spot. 6th of the 16 of Jason Justice. 7th is DJ Curtis. Fish is running in that 8th spot. 9th is Ryan Naraki, and Blake McCandless rounds out your top 10 as of right now. So as we head down the back straightaway, these guys, Phil, there's a lot of different strategies. Strategies have gone out the window. Some of these guys damaged pretty well down towards the back of the pack now. I don't even know what position I would want to be in right now. I kind of like where Rob Larkin is right now.
I think I kind of agree. I kind of want to be in the lead, but also in the back of our mind there, Todd, we're going to have 22 laps go to the board next time around. Stage number 1 is 30 laps. I mean, these guys with championship hopes and dreams and implications. I mean, some of these guys that need to race the league's playoff points and score max, all they can, these guys may have to turn the wick up a little bit. So you're going to see Blake inside the top 10, guys like Matt Vassar, Corey Carpenter, DJ Derek Justice. I mean, those guys are on the outside of the top 10, almost back outside of the top 20 rather. So, I mean, we'll have to see what these guys do going forward. Looks like pace vehicle is in. Oh, sorry about that. Getting word from race control. The number 30 car, says Corey Carpenter on your screen, is actually being piloted right now by John Poole III, who jumped into it during the delay. So keep an eye on that 30 car. Driver change there, but Todd, green flag in the air.
Pair 83s restart on the front row. 083 and 83. The 083 definitely takes that one there on the green flag, as it looks like Rob Larkin takes the lead, and I'm not sure what happened there. We're back to yellow flag conditions once again.
All right, looks like the word is that they were ready to throw the loud pedal down. The starter was going to throw the green flag, and well, you ever go to the short tracks, Todd, and see that leader maybe get a little bit antsy on the restart? Well, he unfurled the yellow flag. So guys expecting the green, guys are getting a little bit antsy, and starters sometimes, and I know you've got experience this at the local short track there, Todd. Sometimes the starter just throws out that yellow flag, keeps these guys on their toes, and it's a hard job sometimes being a starter. You got to make sure these guys are properly aligned and nobody's out of line and nobody jumping the restart. And starter just felt that time that maybe that somebody was going to jump, and instead of throwing the green, he unhurled that yellow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe we got a restart in that restart zone, and I didn't really get to look at it that I wanted to look at. But Rob Larkin gets to go to the tail end of that lead lap for that, or tail end of the lead lap for that one. Unfortunately, as Rob Larkin, they're kind of saying that he jumped the gun there for a late restart. I'm not sure. I believe he was inside that restart zone, but again, it's so hard for me to make up. I messed up even the call to start there, so it's difficult for times, and maybe he was a little antsy up front there.
No, maybe he was, so that's just going to reset up front. Noah Hart will restart with the lead. He looks like he's elected to the outside lane with Maverick Morrow down to the inside. Chris Wetch, John Van Gorder, Jason Justice will make up your top 5. DJ Curtis 6th, Michael Fritz 7th, Ryan Naraki 8th, Blake McCandless 9th, and Jonathan Taylor will now restart in the 7 car 10th. They're in the restart zone, Todd. Looks like this time green flag's going to be unfurled and green flag in the air.
Yeah, green flag is in the air, and we're back to racing here. Noah Hart gets a good restart in that number 83 machine, a little bit too good of a restart, I believe, in the 83 as he was able to get a couple car leaks out in front of the 57 of Maverick Morrow. But we're single file here as Jason Justice a little left up there on the top side. He's got help from the number 51 machine, but these lines just starting to form down the back straightaway.
Well, they certainly are on the inside. Chris Wett's got the 71 rolling to the inside lane. How about John Van Gorder in that double knot 5? He's got the 3-unit machine up in the inside lane fourth car in line. They are moving forward. Inside lane starting to get a really good run there. The 51 of Michael Fritsch is there to the inside. The 54 of DJ Curtis. Those guys all trying to juke and shy. Maneuvering position. That's racing side by side for fifth. Jason Justice trying to lead that. That top line forward, stalling out so far as they hit the start-finish line. 24 laps up on the board.
24 laps up on the board. Here comes the 37 of Naraki. He's shoving his way through, trying to get around Blake McCandless in that 74 machine. McCandless was trying to get back down to the bottom, and Naraki says, not so fast. I got a nose underneath you. I want the bottom line. So, unfortunately, Blake McCandless shuffled up to the top side in that number 74 machine.
Shuffled up to the top side, as you said. He's got Jason Justice up ahead of him. Looks like that second lane almost had another dance partner up there as Van Gorder peaked out of line. He's going to keep it glued back to the low side there. Now, DJ Curtis, the 54, he's going to think the same thing. Duck it out of line, jump back into it. Now, Ryan Naraki, is he going to be the one to jump to the high lane? He's going to do so, but he's going to lose the position. The 7 of Taylor to the low side. Second lane trying to gain some steam and just can't find nothing of it there. Todd is free falling now back to the end of the top 10 off of turn 2.
Yeah, just not enough cars in line on the top side right now. Looks like the bottom line is pretty dominant there. As now Ryan Naraki was up top. Yeah, Blake McCandless goes down to the bottom. He leaves the top group. Looked like the guys were trying to make something work up top, and it's not able to do so. 3 wide there through the middle portion of the pack, though, there, Phil. As the number 54 now, as I'm looking at the 54, he's trying to make a move around John Van Gorder. That's DJ Curtis. He's up top with a 37, so they're trying to make things happen. But it looks like that bottom group is just overpowering right now.
Oh, it certainly is. But the 37, man, he is all over the back bumper of the 54 of DJ Curtis. He is wearing that thing out. They're going to make headway around. It looks like the 5 of Van Gorder. Well, as I say that, the inside lane prevails once again. Those guys get separated. And as you said, the strength in numbers, Todd, just not enough cars forming in the top side. I think if enough do, you see a really good run on the backstretch. And here comes that good run I was thinking was going to happen. Naraki back tucked up on the DJ Curtis car. They'll make their way up to 4th, now maybe for 3rd. They're side by side, but Wets for 3rd at the turn 3.
Yeah, almost up to Wets is the number 54 of DJ Curtis, trying to make a side-by-side battle for that 3rd spot. Not quite up to his door. Now he's going to be up to his door here through the triangle. Look at the run these guys have off the corner. Now the 54 makes his way up to the 57. That is Maverick Morrow. Morrow right now running in that 2nd spot, but he's under heavy heat from that number 54.
Yeah, how about the run for DJ Curtis and Ryan Araki? A bunch of names inside with top 5 that you may not be accustomed to night after night here on Full Velocity, but these guys certainly becoming, fan favorites here on our airwaves. Noah Hart getting a little bit out of line there. Got stuck in that sucker hold. Looks like he was going to have help on the low side from Maverick. Maverick turned left underneath. That's going to allow that 54 with a run to the outside to the lead. Ryan Naraki will go up to 2nd, and just as we say that, Todd, those two are going to pull to the low side. They're going to leave Jason Justice out to dry off of turn 4.
I was looking how fast Noah Hart was going back through this field. He wasn't first. Just remember that when he got shuffled. And we're looking through the field, and he finally settles himself back. Look out, 15th. 14 cars he lost through that field. Or 19th. 18 cars he lost as he dropped down through the middle. Oh, contact made in the middle of the field. Looks like I'm not sure what car that was. It was a white car there. Was contact made. He was able to save it. It looks like the Arnold Columbia in the 39 machine. Good hands by the 39. He's able to save it after contact made in the middle portion of that corner.
Yeah, Arnold there having a great save, but he may fall back, fall faster from this field than a Giants winning streak right now. So we'll have to see how the 39 holds on to the end of this draft after that tremendously good save. But that outside lane starting to form. Jason Justice with a good run to 30 of John Poole the 3rd. Those guys got a tremendous head of steam. Kevin McAdams also there as well. That top side moving forward there. They're on the march for the lead off of turn 2.
Yeah, definitely on the march for the lead. 16 of Jason Justice up there. And now here comes the 54 of DJ Curtis to block. Here comes the 16 of Jason Justice way up to the top side. They all left him. They dropped Jason Justice, and Justice makes contact with the number 30 there. Going into turn number 3, I thought that was going to be a wreck up towards the front of the field once again, Phil. Jason Justice able to keep it off that bottom groove. He's all by his lonesome up top.
Oh, he certainly is. No dancing partner for the Bud Light Ford whatsoever. Now contact More contact up front. The 71 of Chris Wetz got a little bit of bumper hook there. He got shoved down to the inside. Not sure if everybody saved that there, but the 71 got down to the apron. Great save by them guys. Great driving. And unfortunately, it looks like for the likes of, say, Michael Fritch in that 51, he got stuck in the sucker hole. He's going to lose positions, but we're going to see how they shake out. Good saves by these guys. Close, tight racing. And I mean, look at the top side, Todd. That extreme top lane. That line is moving. They may have the lead by the time they get to the entrance to 3.
Well, Jason Justice was up with no partners, dancing partners up to the top side, and all of a sudden you have Taylor Morgan's Colin Keister, 193, Rick Johnson. We are 3 wide off of turn 4 down through the triangle once again. Looks like Justice going to lead them and beat them here to the line at number 16 machine with help of Taylor Morgan's in that Kit Kat number 36. He's going to be able to pull it. Oh, Jason makes a move there. It looks like a little bit 4 wide through corner number 1.
4 wide for the lead as Morgans goes to the outside of Justice. DJ Curtis is there in the middle lane. Ryan Naraki's up there in the 37. 3 wide. That's still 4 wide. Now almost 5 wide. Todd down the back straightaway.
4 wide still down to the back straightaway. And we got 4 distinct grooves going down the back chute. Oh, my word. Going into turn number 3. Jason Justice trying to propel himself back to the lead in that number 16 machine. Who's going to back out of this, Phil? Who is going to back out? They are going to be the guys that the guys are going to probably be the smart ones right now. It is way too early for 4 wide as the stage did end there the last couple laps there, Phil.
4 wide for almost 2 consecutive circuits, and these guys, the patience, unbelievable driving. DJ Curtis now looks like he may bail out of that and try to put this back in 3 wide scenario, but these guys were 4 wide for about 4 rows deep, Todd, at Talladega. I mean, have you ever?
Oh, I've seen 5 wide that many deep before. No, contact's made. Contact is made once again. Oh, around goes Colin Keister, and he's through the air and upside down the back straightaway.
Well, page the FAA for that one. They may need to reinstate the 14 for the pilot's license. There is even that thing, Todd, a full airborne shift, landed on his roof, landed back on his wheels. Colin grabbed the gear and he kept that thing going. And oh, by the way, the stage ended about a lap ago. So we got to go back and recap that. Is under caution flag once again for a wild wreck.
Yeah, indeed. If you want to learn how to do a barrel roll, land on your wheels at Talladega, I guess you better be calling up Colin Keister in that 14 machine. Wow. The 14 and Colin Keister took a ride there, landed back on his wheels, and grabbed the gear, and he was going. As it looks like Jason Justice may have won our first stage, Jason Justice. So I believe Phil may have more on that one.
All right. Well, we'll try to reset and see how these guys in the top 5 for the stage points are round out. But first, let's go down to Joe Allen here. Another full velocity rewind, and this one may require some kind of blimp viewage there, Joe. Is at 14. He was airborne for, it felt like forever.
Yeah, guys, you'd think after looking at this one, you'd think Colin Keister had his flight license and his pilot's license. In the middle there, we're looking at the black and green car. He's tucked up right behind that black and pink car of Derek Justice. We're also going to look at the 83 of Rob Larkin, that red and yellow Skittles machine of Adam Kodal in the 33, and I believe that's a 17 of Matt Vassar as well. We'll throw this thing in slow-mo from this view first. Looks like Colin comes down, tries to fill the hole with the 33. Rob Larkin's on his outside there, guys, so we're 3 wide right there. We'll throw this thing in TV camera 2 now. Looks like Kodal comes up the track just a little bit, possibly. Spins that 14 back around. There's the 17 of Vassar, and there's that airtime, hang time for Colin Keister. Comes down hard on the right side of that car, rolls over on the lid one time, and looks like right about here coming into the corner, throws this thing back on 4. He gets off the brakes, keeps it on all 4 tires, throws it in reverse real quick, spins that number 14 machine around and throws her in first gear and drives away like nothing happened. But very tough break there. That's 2 championship contenders involved there, guys. That's the 14 of Colin. Colin coming in was situated second in points, I believe. He was arguably probably on the better side of looking at things. This is certainly not going to help his case. And then Matt Vassar, who needed to come out here and have a strong run tonight, not helping his case either. He's been involved in multiple accidents this evening. So more chase implications as we continue to talk about. This is the nature of Talladega. guys trying to avoid trouble and see who can come out the the most suitable at the end of this thing. This race so far, we've already seen it shake a bunch of things up. I'm interested to see how the points shake up after this night is over with the wrecks that we've seen so far and the championship contenders involved in said wrecks as well. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, and some pretty big implications down there on pit road, Todd. The 14 of Colin Keister. He come in third in the standings tonight, got a lot of playoff points, maybe comfortable as far as, putting himself in position to advance next week, but that was a pretty lengthy pit stop down there for the 14. There's some heavy damage down there.
Yeah, there was a lot of heavy damage there. The 14 of Colin Keister, he was down on pit road for quite some time. Not sure how long he's indeed down there. As soon as but the 14 machine of Colin Keister, Talladega, that's why I say things can happen in the blink of an eye there, Phil, and that indeed happened in the blink of an eye, and that puts some dampers on some of them championship hopes, and it's going to really come down to that next race.
Oh, it certainly will. We'll have to update what goes on there, but we can update was Jason Justice in that 4-wide scenario who was able to pick up the win in stage number 1. Taylor Morgan's there second. I believe it was the DJ Curtis 54 third, the 37 of Ryan Naraki, and Maverick Morrow, I believe. Unofficial top 5. Not sure how much I got that off the scratch pad as I was trying to communicate with race control off air and try to get this all situated. But, I mean, it was 4-wide racing there at Talladega. I mean, how much better can it get there, Todd? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was indeed fantastic racing there, 4-wide. I believe that was 2 or 3 rows deep as those guys were really, really dicing it up front, and I thought something was going to happen up there.
Well, I'll tell you what did happen. Somebody made a bold move there to the outside lane, able to pick up the win in stage number 1, and that, of course, is our good buddy, the driver of the Bud Light Ford, Mr. Jason Justice. Racing Jason Justice, do you have a copy? It's Phil Lacasse from FTN, my friend.
I sure do. How you guys doing?
We're doing outstanding here, man. 4 wide for the lead, 3 or 4 rows deep, and somehow out of all that, you make the move to pick up the bonus points there to win stage number 1. I mean, tell us about that finish of that stage. 4 wide racing. I mean, we expect that at Talladega, but never 4 rows deep. That had to be intense out there as a driver.
Well, we were setting ourselves up to have a good finish in the stage anyway, and we saw that the 54 was coming off the bottom to try to move up in front of the outside lane, and I figured that the guys that were pushing me dedicatedly from behind were going to go with me when I went to the outside to try to get around him for the lead. And then when nobody went with me, I thought I was done for. I wasn't going to get any stage points. And then Taylor caught me from behind, and then he had Colin pushing him, and Rick Johnson was pushing Colin. Then my brother was pushing Rick, and the 5 of us together were somehow able to make up all that ground. And what a crazy finish at the end of that stage. Taylor got me loose coming out of the tri-oval, coming to the green checker to end that stage, and we were 4 wide. Like, well, I just won a stage. That might be the last lap I complete because I thought we were all going to wreck going into 1. 4 wide for that for that extended of the time was just insane. That we were able to pull it off for at least a lap, if not more.
I think it was a good 2.5 laps. I mean, it was 4 wide, 3 rows deep, which is even more impressive. But Jason, you come in tonight, currently 6th in the standings, 3 points, over the cut line there of that 8th position, on the strength of 9 playoff points. I mean, you still got a lot of racing left to go at Talladega. How comfortable do you feel there? How much is that stage win going to benefit you? And what's the strategy going to be for the 16 the rest of the night? I mean, still a lot of laps to go. You got to survive, and you got to be the thinking is pick up all the points you possibly can.
Well, we qualified 3rd, and from the get-go, we knew that a 3-point cushion is nothing, and we know how quickly things can change at Talladega. So the goal from the outset is just try to get as many points as possible. We were fortunate to get the right pushes at the right time, that we were able to get the 10 bonus points or the 10 stage points for winning stage 1. So we're going to try to do that again for stage 2 and just see how things unfold. And we can put ourselves in position to win here to try to maximize points. And that's what the ultimate goal is, just move on, survive, and advance.
Well, my friend, take another sip of Bud Light. I mean, you got 55 more laps of this absolute craziness ahead. So keep that 16 clean, my friend. And, I mean, you guys are putting on one hell of a show for us. So good luck the rest of the night. And thanks again for stopping by here and taking a few words with us. Congratulations on your stage win.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Jason Justice. Racing Jason, as Todd has coined him, picking up the win in stage number 1. And, I mean, Todd, I know you've got success on super speedways over the year. I know Joe's got a tremendous amount of it, and back in the day, I won a fair share as well. But I mean, imagine the intensity of being 4 wide, trying to race one of these stages, or racing for a win this late in the going. I mean, that's got to be fun, and it's got to be rewarding to put yourself in that position and then come out P1 on all that. I mean, drink up to that. That's awesome.
Yeah, sometimes that's the benefactor of the stage racing is you're going to see racing like that to go back to the flag and get those all-important stage points. But I tell you, I've won races from the front doing stuff like Jason has. I've won races from going to the back. So we're going to have to see how different strategies play out. Like I said, I've won them all from every different position probably on the track. Talladega being my favorite super speedway of the two. So Daytona is all right. Get ready to go back to green flag racing. Green flag's in the air. Ryan Naraki, your current race leader in that number 37 machine. Green flag is out. The hammer is down. Naraki shifts from the top side. He leaves the 193 of Rick Johnson down in front of the number 26 of Kevin McAdams.
Yeah, Rick almost just lost his whole dance team there up on the restart. Not sure if he missed a shift or what happened there, but the 93 did not get up to speed whatsoever. But Ryan Naraki going to pull away. John Poole, the third of that, number 30, right there in the inside lane. And now Maverick Morrow, he's got the Oreo Chevrolet right up in the mix as well. He's in that top 4. They're all breaking away. Inside lane, pulling away now off the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, no top group foreman right now. It looks like the number 30 of John Poole, the third, filling in for Corey Carpenter. He shifts up to the high side. Nobody goes with him. He's kind of playing a little bit of peekaboo with the number 26 of Kevin McAdams. McAdams right now staying solidly glued down to the bottom behind Ryan Naraki in that number 37 machine. Nobody out of groove through the top 6, 7, and then we go to 8th here. You got the 93 of or 9th, the 93 of Rick Johnson. He's still by himself. He's in the midst of a battle with the number 005 of John Van Gorder. Van Gorder now taking the chance to choose which side he wants to go with. Is Jason Justice, Taylor Morgan, and Derek Justice begin to work over the middle groove. They're trying to make something happen. They don't want to stay single file. John Van Gorder goes back down to the bottom side. He's more comfortable behind the 57 of Maverick Morrow. And now the number 71 of Chris Wentz also down at the bottom. Here comes Noah Hart. And then number 83 machine, he has now got help from the 193. And John Van Gorder almost up the track there into the 83 of Noah Hart. Looks like he lost a little bit of the handle here going down into turn 1. But he's able to keep it off of Noah Hart. And that's an amazing driving by John Van Gorder.
Well, I don't know if I want to put John and amazing driving in the same sentence or not, but a little bit of stroke of luck there off of turn 4 as that car started to drift up the racetrack and almost made for another multiple car catastrophe as this field now sprints down the backstretch headed toward turn number 3. Ryan Naraki trying to make stuff happen with the bottom line. Jason Justice at number 30 up to the top side. How about that paint scheme tonight for that number 26, that Mountain Dew pitch black machine? That black and green car, usually got Kevin out there and Doritos out there, but I got the happy fat kid report up here from the booth here tonight. Not only did the race sponsor Doritos and Kevin McAdams set up a fresh freight for us, he's got the Mountain Dew on hand for us, the pitch black flavor flying on the race car, and even Taylor Morgan's crew sent up some Kit Kat, and even better there, Todd, for happy fat kids, Rob Larkin's team sent up some Skittles, so happy fat kid report up here in the booth tonight. As these guys racing into turn number 3, Derek Justice, that third car in line, he's trying to make stuff happen as well. Maybe you can hit Derek up later there, Todd. Maybe if you can't get some of that ice cream, because I think we're pretty good for snack food up here in the booth right now.
A little bit more worried about the snack food than what the racing has been going on in the track, but I guess that's all right. I guess you can hang out and eat that snack food all you want here this evening. I've had some nice things, but meanwhile, while you were talking about snack food, the 57 of Maverick Morrow, we missed some exciting action. 57 of Maverick Morrow, looks like John Van Gorder got into the back of him. He was able to save that car, though, down onto the apron, and it was amazing driving by Maverick Morrow. So those guys were trying to dirt track it at 200 miles an hour. That's just not going to work there on the bottom side. Maverick Morrow able to gather it back up, though, but he lost many positions, and that bottom group kind of broke apart. John Van Gorder dropped back quite a ways in that number 005 machine, so everybody broke up off that bottom line after the 57 of Maverick Morrow got extremely loose on the bottom.
Well, we certainly did, but now the whole complexion of the race has changed up front as, Jason Justice, Taylor Morgans, they're going to sprint out to the lead, but the 83 of Noah Hart, the 193 of Rick Johnson, they had a good run in the inside lane. I really thought they were going to have the run down toward turn one, maybe propel themselves out by themselves, but top lane looking to be the dominant lane right now. We've got some fast drivers in it, and now a top side is forming, the extreme top, the 37 in Iraqi, the 26 of McAdams trying to make something happen. The 31 of Derek Justice gets shifted on a line as they hit turn three.
Yeah, Derek Justice shifted out right on the bottom. He has to make a save on the 31, and the transition from that banking down to that surface, down to that flatter surface is not an easy one to gather your car back up after a move like that happens. And unfortunately, Derek Justice going to lose quite a few positions, and the bottom line going to fade just a little bit after losing that car. So they have to gather back that momentum all once again. And Derek Justice able to get back on the track in that number 31 machine, but he lost a lot of positions, a lot of time.
Not only did he lose a lot of time, he's also lost a draft of that lead pack as well. And that lead pack is probably about 23 to 24 cars strong. As now yellow flag's going to be on the speedway. So as we talk about Derek losing the track position, maybe he'll regain it back now with the quick caution flag here as the field is in turn number 3. But Todd, I'm not sure if you're going to look there what happened to put us under this caution flag now on lap number 43.
Looks like something happened with 083 of Rob Larkin. Not sure indeed what happened. May have blew up. Something's wrong. Something's amiss on that 083 machine.
Yeah, something definitely going on there. I'll see if Joe can maybe pull it up here on a full velocity rewind. I haven't seen it yet, Joe, but I'm going to let you show me what happened for the first time. So take it away there with a replay.
Thank you very much, guys. Focus on, he's got 83 on the door. He's registered as the 083 in the event. That is Rob Larkin. That's the 30 of John Poole up above him on the outside. The 71 of Chris Wetz behind, and the 33 of Adam Kodal. Throw this thing in slow motion replay. See Rob go down through the corner here, and not sure what happens. He starts to come down the track here like he's in line, and all of a sudden, I don't know if he broke something, he blew up, but he just went straight right, and Adam Kodal in the 33 was right there. Nowhere Adam could have went. Maverick Morrow, hard contact for the 57 down on the bottom. The 53 of Justin Malillo is back there as well. There's the 9 of Brandon Lawson, Colin Keister back there. Matt Vassar in the 17, the 47 of Sonny Tallman. So not quite sure what happened there, guys. We'll back this up one more time. I don't know if maybe something broke. Maybe he blew a right front, because that thing it got real evil there, and it took hard right, and it looked like it was almost out of Rob's control there. You see the car kind of hitch down to the surface there when it first happened, and unfortunately Adam Kodal, hard contact for that 33 machine. Nowhere Maverick Morrow in the 57 could have went. He tried hooking it down left off the track, and those guys just kept coming after him. So very, very big tough break. We know Rob comes out here, one of the better super speedway drivers that's ever been part of this game, and just unfortunate circumstance for him, and a couple other guys that are out there racing for a championship involved in this as well. So back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, so definitely mechanical failure there on the 083 of Rob Larkin. That car is taking off dead right, and I mean, the unfortunate circumstance for that, Adam Kodal getting a piece of it as well, but Maverick Morrow in the 57 there, Todd, involved in another wreck here tonight. Maverick, another one of those guys, trying to race their way into this championship scenario, I believe. Maverick coming in 7th in the standings tonight, 2 points to the good. Any contact on the race cars out here in this crowd tonight could be detrimental to a place like that. And we know Maverick's certainly not a fan of the super speedway, so he may have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Maverick not a fan of the super speedways, and that's why he tries to play it cool, calm, and collected. And sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Maverick Morrow seems to be that way more often than not at these super speedways, and that could lead to why he does not enjoy these super speedways. I know we're getting the one to go here, so we're going to go back to green flag racing, and just to make a comment on Rob Larkin, I almost think something went amiss, and something blanked out on him, and that was pretty much what happened to Rob Larkin. I mean, he's got some damage on that 083 machine. Is it enough damage to affect him? We'll just have to wait and see if he can make it up through the field once again.
Well, Rob certainly not having a good time in the middle stages of this race. He got the black flag for jumping the restart last time around, got put from the lead all the way to the rear. Mechanical failure this time around, putting him in the outside wall, a multiple car incident there. You know, the likes of Adam Colo getting certainly tore up in that as well. So, you know, tough break for Rob, but if he has anything left of that race car, we know Rob Todd, and he's a guy who's been around this community for a long time and no stranger to a place like Talladega. I believe he was the earliest trip these guys made here back in the spring. I believe it was Rob Larkin who picked up the win in the FTF Jones Cup Series. So not only is Rob no stranger to Talladega victory lane, no stranger to victory lane in this series.
Yeah, definitely no stranger to victory lane in this series. It's rather interesting to see how much bad luck he's actually had here. Blake McCandless going to restart here with the lead, I believe, in the number 74 machine. That is indeed right. 74 Blake McCandless. Ryan Naraki is going to be up here. I believe Noah Hart did pit last time, so it's Blake McCandless, Ryan Naraki, Kevin McAdams, Taylor Morgans, Jason Justice, Taylor and David Schildhouse back up here, getting ready to go back to green flag racing, just waiting on the flagger to throw that green flag out on the speedway. And we're still waiting quite a bit here as we're getting to that restart zone. Green flag's in the air. We're racing here. The number 74, Blake McCandless. Good start for the 74. Gets a good jump on that number 37, Ryan Naraki.
Yeah, 37 almost appeared that he may have spun his tires there. He backed up the 7 of Jonathan Taylor. The 36 of Taylor Morgan's also there. And now Jason Justice, the number 16, he got a little bit shuffled out of line off of turn number 2 and looks like a caution flag once again on the speedway. Not sure what happened there.
Looks like a wreck in the back of the field, and I'm not sure who was involved in that one. It might have been HB Hardy in that number 11 machine. It looks like I see a header gone on that number 11 machine, so we'll have to see if it was HB Hardy that brought out that yellow flag. And I think indeed it was something to that effect with HB Hardy in that number 11.
All right, so these guys having some issues just shy of the halfway marker after we saw a great 4-wide finish to cap off stage number 1. You know, a couple more incidents here, and now looks like maybe some motor issues here as we're just a couple of laps shy of the halfway mark. Race was shortened from 117 laps to 100 laps. Some brief technical issues here, some moisture on the racetrack, some issues, and you know, event had to be delayed by a little while, had a brief intermittent start, and then had to do a complete reset and a restart for these guys. So a little behind the 8 ball tonight, a little late on the broadcast, and still over 50% of this race here left to go, Joe Allen. But looking like the current yellow flag we got may be for the 11 of HB Hardy, a motor going away. Is that what you see down there?
Yes, sir, guys. We'll take a look at this real quick because I know FTF likes to do those quickie yellows. I'm on the 47 of Sonny Tallman. He's the secondary incident here. The 11 of HB Hardy is at the top right of our screen in that baby blue M&M style car. So you'll see the 11 go up in smoke right here. 47 just doesn't see it in time. He's got David Schildhouse in the 20 all over his bumper. Sonny goes all the way down to the bottom trying to get out of the way, and the 83 of Noah Hart is right there. That spins out the 47, and just a chain reaction check up there due to the blown engine by the 11 guys. I don't see any other damage between those two cars or any other competitors involved besides that header going out on the 11. So just a little quick recap and replay for that. Back up to you guys in the booth as we probably get ready to go back green here pretty soon.
Yeah, 1 to go has been given to the field, so we'll reset toward the back straightaway. Get ready to go back under the green flag here. Blake McCandless going to restart as your leader. Looks like he's going to elect the inside lane for this restart. Kevin McAdams, Ryan Naraki, Jason Justice, and Taylor Morgan's going to make up your top 5. 6 through 10, we find Rick Johnson 6th, Colin Keister 7th, Arnold Columbia is 8th, Jonathan Taylor is 9th, Derek Justice has worked his way up now to the top 10. 11th, we find John Poole the 3rd in the number 30, Maverick Morrow is 12th, Michael Frisch 13th, DJ Curtis 14th, and Brandon Lawson has rebounded to find himself now back into the top 15. Chris Barnes is 16th, John Van Gorder is 17th, Andrew Swartz is 18th, Spencer Gilmore 19th, and Alex Ruth is 20th. Chris Wetz, Rob Larkin, Noah Carmichael, Adam Corral, and Justin Malello, your current top 25. Kyle Riley 26th, Matt Vassar 27th, David Schildhouse 28th, Noah Hart 29th, Sonny Tallman is 30th. Cars out of the race include HB Hardy, Jordan Buster, Mark Zabeka, and Johnny Gardner. Looks like 34 cars took this green flag there, Todd Stanton, but they are back under green flag here as they hit the start-finish line. Green flag back in the air.
Yeah, another amazing start for the number 74 of Blake McCandless. This time out to about 3 car lengths advantage, and that's not what you want to see here at Talladega. He has no help out the back window, and they're going to have to really catch him if they don't make a maneuver here. So they're going to get one whale of a run onto Blake. So Blake's going to have to choose where he wants to go. He's going to stick to the bottom. Yep, indeed he's going to do so with help from the 37 of Ryan Naraki. But here comes that top groove. That's the 26 of Kevin McAdams. He's being pushed by the 16 of Jason Justice.
Yeah, top side trying to make stuff happen. These guys just all juking, jiving, jittering down in that low lane for position. I saw Colin Keister into the back of Taylor Morgan's. Those guys got really loose there. That'll allow the top side to get back moving there with McAdams, Jason Justice, also Rick Johnson up there as well. And how about the rebound, the 39 of Arnold Columbia? He's over that top half dozen there, Todd. Those guys now racing side by side for the race lead off of turn 2.
Yeah, side by side for the race lead off of turn number 2 down the front chute, 26 of Kevin McAdams going to be able to take over the lead over the number 16 of Jason Justice, and yes, indeed, I said the back chute, down the back chute, as the 26 of Kevin McAdams into turn number 3, the 16 of Jason Justice still running in that second spot.
Man, look who got stuck in that sucker hole, the 14 of Colin Keister. He was up running 7th. Well, when this thing recycles and he may find his way back in a line, he may be all the way outside the top 20. Is nobody wanting to work with the 14. He is just, just falling through this field, plunging from the up to that lead pack. He's going to fall all the way back to a tail end of this draft, Todd. And you look at the interval, that may propel him all the way back to almost 28th position. So you go from the penthouse to the outhouse here at Talladega in no time. And Colin, knowing he got that damage to the front end, I mean, it may be tough for him to get back up there.
Yeah, no one wanting to push the 14 of Colin Keister, and that's tough. That's sad that you got that damage, and nobody's gonna want to work with you because it's gonna slow you up here at Talladega. Drafting plays a key role here, of course. It is a super speedway, so and Colin Keister has no help with that number 14 machine.
Oh, he's back there with the likes of a champ David Schildhaus, who, we know also has damage. He's, puzzling to be back there all the way back in 23rd. Is now more contact into turn number 3. Multiple cars making contact, couple of cars into the outside wall, and no doubt about it, Todd, that's going to put us under caution flag once again, just now eclipsing the halfway mark. 51 laps on the board, but I was back there around that 14, the 83 at Noah Hart, and the 14 got another piece of the wreck. I'm sure Colin's going to be really, really happy to get the hell out of Talladega tonight.
Yeah, I think he was Schildhaus almost got a piece of that. But I know Colin Keister's got to be happy to get out of here. He's been involved in everything here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and I mean it's not heavy contact. It's not the normal classic big one that we see here at Talladega. It's 4 or 5 cars, but indeed it's going to tear up some of these cars that have been racing. And Colin Keister, once again, involved in a wreck. We're going to throw it down to Joey the Jet, Joe Allen, down in the broadcast trailer with a replay of what just happened. A full velocity rewind.
Thank you very much, guys. We're going to focus this replay, the 83 of Noah Hart, as Phil told us. The 14 of Colin Keister is in the aftermath of it. That white and baby blue car on the bottom behind the 0, that is the 17 of Matt Vassar. As they come down through turns 1 and 2 here, looks like that bottom line checks up. Vassar checks up to get off the bumper of the 0, and the 83 of Noah Hart is there. Nothing really Vassar could do there. See Schildhaus up the hill. Noah Hart comes up. Colin Keister takes a hard right to try and avoid that, as we see Vassar back it into the outside wall. More contact here up towards the front of this with Colin Keister in the 14, the 83 of Noah Hart. As you said, it just seems like Colin Keister in that 14 cannot catch a break here this evening. He's already been over on his roof once. Now he's crinkled in the left driver's side door of that machine. The right side's been crinkled up a little bit. The rear end's been crinkled up. If there's a wreck out there, it seems like Colin just can't miss it. And as you said, Phil, I'm sure he can't wait to get the hell out of Dodge and move on to next week and get this one over with as he continues to ride around out there. And, we're right in the midst of a championship battle. So, a guy like Colin who's situated second in points, he can't afford to just go out there and park it and end his night if that car's still running. He's got to go out there and collect as many points as he can, because nobody is truly safe. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. You could have a night like this and it just put a damper on your entire championship run. So he's got to go out there and log more laps and try to bring this thing home and, patched up and hopefully in one piece for the most part with the damaged parts and everything. So tough break for Colin Keister again in the 14, as well as that 83 at Noah Hart and the 17 at Matt Vassar. But that'll do it for this one. So back up to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. Just contact out there. Guys like Colin Keister having a miserable night and just going on a little bit of off-air, whisper communication there with Matt Vassar. Just want to bring light that Gould's Pumps Ford there, the old Magic Shoes Mike McLaughlin paint scheme. Anybody knows Northeast Racing at all, Magic Shoes was a legend up in these parts. An old NASCAR Busch Series driver, a multiple-time winner there, and that old Magic Shoes paint scheme being knocked around like a pinball. Matt, we're going to start deep in the field at number 17. But Todd, we're back to green flag racing, a quickie yellow. Let's put this Doritos 500K back under the green flag.
That green flag is back underway, and we're back down into turn 1 off turn 2 already. Get ready to come down the back straight away. It's Jason Justice with your current race lead. And it looks like Arnold Columbia running in that second spot in the number 39 machine. So these guys fighting tooth and nail right now for every inch of real estate here as we're getting closer to the end of segment number 2 there, Phil. We're on lap 53 of 60. 60 will make the secondary stage winner, so we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. These guys, you think we'll see another 4 wide there, Phil?
Not only do I think we may, I almost guarantee we're going to see more 4 wide racing from these guys. I mean, this racetrack tonight, absolutely racy. The sub-zero temperatures. I mean, it's a really, really cold night here. Track temperature, 0 degrees. These cars got more speed than I think that even they're all accustomed to. Able to make a really, daring, bold moves out there on the racetrack. So no doubt about it. I think we'll see more 3 and especially 4 wide racing when this thing gets, toward our conclusion. But 54 laps of 100. Also going to put in our back pocket now, Todd. Next time around, when they get back to the line, they're going to be only 5 laps remaining in stage number 2. So we saw 4 wide to end stage 1. I think we're going to be more cognitive this time and call the action here. Who's going to get these critical stage points here through the end of stage 2? 5 laps to go at the line.
Yeah, 5 laps to go at the line here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Who's going to pick up these stage points this go around? Here, round number 2 winner and round 1 winner was Jason Justice in that number 16 machine. So we're going to see if he can repeat. You got Blake McCandless. He needs every point that he can get in that number 74 machine. Arnold Columbia is right there into that fray. Rick Johnson, Colin Keister's up there. Justin Malello, Taylor Morgans, Kevin McAdams, DJ Curtis, Derek Justice, who we haven't heard much. He's been pretty quiet in the number 31 machine. But we got 3 wide already forming up through the middle portions of this pack there, Phil.
Oh, it certainly was. Justin Malello was making stuff happen. He's dropped now back to the low lane, but now it's the 31 of Derek Justice, the Baskin-Robbins Ford. He's locked in the middle of a 3 wide scenario. 31 not making any time, but what that 3 wide did, it killed the run on the top side. The 193 of Rick Johnson, he was almost up side by side with the 16 of Jason Justice for the race lead. But now Rick Johnson, Taylor Morgans have fallen back, and now here comes the 31, the 37 on the Rocky. Those guys like a rocket ship through the middle lane. That's racing outside of the top 5, 3 wide off of turn 2.
Yeah, 3 wide off of turn number 2, down the back, shoot down the back straightaway here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Here comes the 74, Blake McCandless. He dives down to the bottom. He switches lanes abruptly. He's trying to win the stage here. Trying to be the stage winner of number 2. This is number 74. He thinks the smart way is to be in front of that 16 of Jason Justice. I almost have to agree with him. Coming off of turn number 4 down through the trial, a little bit loose was the 16 and the 74. But here comes Arnold Columbia. He's forming that inside group with the number 7.
Yeah, they've got that second line in the middle for him there. Columbia moving up. Jonathan Taylor, the 7, the 31 of Justice there. They are shoving the outside lane. They're going to be side by side for the lead off of turn number 2. Blake McCandless trying to steal the stage, but how about the run of that middle lane? Columbia is there. Taylor may have the run. Justice, you can't, look back on that third lane with Rick Johnson. They may have a run here down the back stretch, but it's that 39 of Mr. Columbia. Where did he come from? Well, where did he come from has now found his way to the race lead as they get toward the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, Columbia trying to make his way up through the field here, and he has indeed done so. From a 29th starting position here this evening to first is Arnold Columbia in that number 39 machine. He's going to lead a lap this time by with the help of the number 7 machine. That's Taylor. in the number 7, you got Derek Justice right there. And you also got the 74 of Blake McCandless. Now working over the bottom side is Taylor goes down to the bottom side in that number 7. He helps out Blake McCandless and the 16 of Jason Justice. Derek Justice off to all by himself in the middle of the sandwich. Here comes Jason up here. Good brother. He helps out the 31 of Derek Justice.
Oh, good brother. I mean, those guys side drafted, almost made contact with each other off of turn 2, but Jason slipped to the outside lane, picked up his brother. Now going to fall back to the clutches of that 3rd spot. Here comes Justin Malello to the inside. He's got Taylor Morgan's the Kit Kat Chevrolet. Good racing inside the top 5 here is, I believe we're going to have 2 to go at the line for the stage. All chasing race leader there, the number 39, the number 7 now of Jonathan Taylor, our current race leader.
Yeah, the number 7 of Jonathan, the number 39 of Arnold Columbia, and Jonathan Taylor is running in that 2nd spot. As now we're seeing what's going on here. Is contact made. Oh, Jason Justice able to gather that back in. The number 16 machine, but he's going to slow up the field just a little bit more. But he's able to handle that one. The number 16 Bud Light Ford Fusion, and man, that's going to be costly for stage points. But he was able to gather it back up.
And we talk about these guys in the playoffs tonight racing for stage points. How about these guys up front, not in the championship picture, just trying to steal a win on the stage as they come to stage white this time. Arnold Columbia, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Malello. I mean, those guys are on the outside of the playoffs. I mean, those guys got, nothing as far as playoff points. They're racing for pride, and we'd find them inside the top 5. How about Maverick Morrow's rebound there, Todd? The Oreo Chevrolet, 3rd car on the inside. He's trying to rebound to make something of his night. He's got something happen. Now here comes the top side. Here comes Blake McCandless, 3 wide for the lead at the turn 3.
Yeah, 3 wide for the lead into turn number 3. Blake McCandless. Derek Justice had all kinds of momentum on the top side of the speedway. Justice really pushing that 74's rear bumper. The 74 of Blake McCandless trying to gather up these stage points. Is he going to be able to do it here at the line? We're going to just wait and see. Arnold Columbia right now got the edge here through the tribal. I think he's just going to peter out just a little bit here on the top side. It's going to be Arnold Columbia picking up that stage win. I believe, no, Arnold Columbia picking up the stage win, the 74 Blake McCandless. Then Jonathan Taylor, Derek Justice in the number 31 finishes up 4th. 5th, Maverick Morrow, Corey Carpenter, who's being driven by John Poole III, is 6th. 7th is Chris Wentz. 8th is the 26 of Kevin McAdams. Fritz is running in the 51. He is 9th, and Ryan Naraki rounds out your top 10 for stage points.
Yeah, what a tremendous end of the stage there. Blake McCandless almost made the outside lane work. Arnold Columbia with the bold move from outside the top 10. He's going to pick up the stage win. Good run for those guys, but now off of turn 4, 3 wide scenario. And got to think, Todd, the pit window being 14 to 16 laps for these guys, or 16 to 18 laps rather. You may see these guys come out of the pit road in short order here as we now get to stage number 3, which is 40 laps. And you got to think fuel consumption for these guys at some point is going to enter the fray.
The number 74, Blake McCandless, down on pit road at the service of his pit crew, I believe. Looks like no tires is the call for the number 74, Blake McCandless. He gets 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. I did not see the jack go underneath that number 74 machine. He's the first guy to come down on pit road. He's completed the service and he's going to join, but that's going to be tough. No drafting partner for the 74, Blake McCandless.
No drafting partner. You wonder if he's banking on, issues happening under green flag conditions through pit stops. As we sail it off of turn 4, here comes Arnold Columbia, Jonathan Taylor. Those guys going to pit out of the top 2 spots. They're down to 55 miles per hour. So let's see what our race leaders do there, Todd, as they come to the attention of their crew.
Yeah, I got the 16 of Jason Justice. He's down into his pit stop. Perfect pit stop. Rolls right in there. Right side tires going on the number 16 Bud Light Ford Fusion of racing Jason Justice. Looks like they're going to not leave the... Nope, they're going to do left sides also. 4 tires is the call here for racing Jason Justice in the number 16 machine. He's down and away.
Arnold Columbia's got the number 39 Ford out of the race lead. It was a 2 right side tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel going in. Just a 2-tire right side pit stop. Arnold Columbia out of the race lead, going to rejoin the race there toward turn 1.
Waiting to see if any more cars come off inside the top 10. Not going to look like it's going to happen here this time by. They're all flashing by the start-finish line now. Now we are on lap number 64 of 100 at the Talladega Super Speedway. Green flag pit stops starting to begin.
No, they certainly are. We're right in the middle of a swell of them now as we got guys that have already come on and off to get their service. We look up toward the front. We find the 31 of Derek Justice, now our current race leader. John Poole the third. He's in the Corey Carpenter number 30. He is currently second. Maverick Morrow is third. They're going to catch guys off of pit road. That being the Noah Carmichael, Blake McHale is the 74. They'll flash by. They'll put those guys one lap down. But you got to think it's going to be too long, Todd, before these guys are going to peel on themselves and come in to get these things full of fuel.
Yeah, here comes the 53 of Justin Malolo down the pit road. I seen him burn off the track here. We're going to follow Justin Malolo down the pit road, the 53 machine. He was running right inside the top 10. And that number 53, Justin Malolo. Let's see what kind of call he's going to have. Right side tires going on that number 53 machine. See if they're going to go around the left sides and actually change 4 tires on that 53. It looks like right now, yep, 4 tires is going to be the call. They're going to jack up that left side. 53 is going to be down and away.
All right, well, just updating what our race leaders are going to do as they flash by the 14 of Colin Keister. Colin's already come to pit road. Race leader Derek Justice will put him one lap down as they work off of turn number 4 to see if anybody else is going to choose a duck in this time by. Nobody looks like inside the top 10 choosing to do so there, Todd. So looking like this time by pit road going to be an empty place versus these last couple of lapses. Now I think Colin Keister is back in. Looks like maybe for some kind of penalty there on the 14.
It looks like maybe a speeding penalty on the number 14, and the bug strikes him again here at Talladega. Not only has he been involved in just about every single wreck, they don't like him officiating either, so they're sending Colin Keister back to pit road for speeding.
Well, probably one of them crazy IMCA officials down there, telling him come back in. I mean, you can't argue with those guys. They're just never, ever going to listen to you, so we'll have to see how Colin's going to shake out. Colin came in third in the standings tonight, but as Todd said, is having one horrific night, multiple incidents, the front end of that car all tore to pieces, and now to add insult to injury, a pit road penalty there on the 14. But awaiting these guys amongst our race leaders to come to pit road, but they're going to flash by some more. But as we say that, looks like that low lane starting to maybe creep back in the throttle a little bit. The 36 of Taylor Morgans, he was 8th last time by. He's now going to work his way to the top side, but I'm starting to think the way these guys are driving, and now as Taylor brings that Chevrolet back to the low side, you got to think these guys are just maneuvering themselves and getting ready. Looks like pit road may be open this time around for the rest of our race leaders.
Tough break for the 193 of Rick Johnson. That just happened there, Phil. Hard into the outside wall there down the back straight. It looks like he got a wee bit loose and tried to save it, and he overcorrected it. He pounded that outside concrete barrier. Waiting to see if any of these guys come down pit road. Looks like they're going to flash by once again, but Rick Johnson, oh man, not a good night for him either.
No, it looked like there was contact between him and Taylor Morgans that may have put the 193 into the outside wall. So a tough break for Rick Johnson. Those guys were all inside the top 10, mind you, all trying to race for position. Looks like there's still 21 drivers who have some kind of whiff of the lead draft here is awaiting this round of pit stops. I mean, you got to think another lap or so, you got to see these race leaders on. Of all these guys have decided to come in and stop short, so it could be one of those things we've seen, Todd. Those guys that stopped early, if 18 to 20 laps is a norm at Talladega, those guys that have already come in maybe backing it up to maybe make this here, opening their window. But now look toward pit road. We were waiting for the rest of the leaders. Well, I think we got our wish. The entire lead grid has all found their way to pit road, and it is a 3-wide scenario. Guys trying to shape shift their way into lane there and hit their pit stall fresh.
Yeah, it looks like they all made it down on the pit road pretty clean. And as soon as I say that, it looks like Naraki around the 37. He's not in his pit stall. He's facing the wrong way with oncoming traffic of the 37 to Ryan Naraki. It's a tough break for him here on pit road. We're going to have to wait and see how he's going to be able to recover from that. He was inside that top 10. But looking up and down through here, it looks like Derek Justice already completed his service. He's down and away. You got 30 of Jonathan Poole III. He is down and away. He's going to fall in behind Derek Justice once again. Chris Wetz, 71, Maverick Morrow. Those guys all done with their services.
Now all those guys done. Kyle Riley has come on as well as did DJ Curtis. Down to the far end of pit road, I found the Kit Kat Chevrolet of Taylor Morgans. 2 left side tires for the 36. Taylor right there, off the win last week, comfortably into the SRA round of 8 in 2 weeks. But Taylor having a good pit stop, only 2 left side tires, just outside of 30 laps to go. So we'll let timing and scoring reset, but looks like the rest of our leaders have all now made their stops.
Yeah, they have indeed made their stops, I believe, and we're going to have to wait and see how this is all going to shake up. We had guys that pitted early, two different types of groups. We had guys that pitted by themselves, like Blake McCandless. He went down on pit road all by his lonesome, so I don't know how that's going to shake up for him through the field, is how much time he's going to lose, because those guys stayed out 3 or 4 laps extra, as those guys were able to make up a ton of time. But right now, we're waiting for storing time to restack the field here. And right now, we got all the way through 17th made up, and we're looking to see Blake McCandless still quite a ways behind, 14 seconds behind these guys, and he's out of that lead draft, Phil.
No, he certainly is. But car is out of the throttle in turn 3, so I believe caution flag may be on the racetrack. Something going amiss out there on the speedway, so looks like caution flag definitely out as the field going to come to a crawling pace speed into turn number 3. Not sure what happened out there. Is we've just come to the conclusion of green flag pit stops, and certainly going to put a monkey wrench in the guys' plans that were out there, and maybe allowing this thing to go all the way green to check from here. But it was John Poole, the third in the 30 ton, had the best pit stop of all. He came out with our race lead, and now with 70 laps on the board, these guys still got one more stop to make. The question is, do you surrender track position and do it now?
I don't know. I don't think you do it now. I think you wait. But I'm going to throw it down to Mr. Joe Allen down there in the broadcast trailer with what happened out there. What brought out this latest yellow flag?
Yes, sir, guys. Back out here, we're going to focus our attention on that yellow and green Subway Golf Town USA number 47 of Sonny Tallman, that number 83 machine of Rob Larkin as well. Looks like Rob coming down here through turns 3 and 4 just gets up on the bumper of the 47, trying to work together to maybe gain and get up there to the 74 Blake and see if they can do something to catch this lead pack again. And just looks like he pushes them a little too hard through the corner, lifts those rear wheels off the ground and spins out the 47. And looks like Sonny, the only one to make contact there, noses it into the fence. Moderate damage at FTF. Don't know if that's going to give Sonny any damage or not. If it does, it's probably very minimal. He can go down there and put 4 fresh tires on it and get that thing turned back around and go in the straightway. So unfortunately, tough break for Sonny. He's been really avoiding most of the wrecks all evening. He's kind of been riding around in the back, just minding his own business, and hopefully going to try and put himself there at the end of this thing. So minor incident there for the 47. He'll go down and put 4 fresh ones on it, and we'll try this thing again, guys. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here at the end of this Talladega race. Just under 30 laps to go. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right. Well, Joe, let me pose the question to you. I'm thinking of guys like, DJ Curtis, Alex Ruth, even Blake McCandless that were back there off of the lead pack. No brainer right now, come in and get fuel if those guys stopped early. But how about these guys that have just come off of pit road? You got John Poole, Chris Wetz, Maverick Morrow, and Derek Justice up in their top 4. Are you going to come in under this caution flag knowing you're going to stop one more time, or are you willing to surrender track position right now if you were out there in your full velocity ride?
Well, as I talk, we see most of the leaders dive down there. They all made the same decision I would make. Justin Malillo gave us the information early on that these cars can go anywhere from 16 to 18 laps on fuel normally here under non-saving circumstances. So with just under 30 laps to go, these guys are probably all making this pit stop here with the anticipation of making at least one more. So this will put all these guys well within a 1 pit stop strategy and scenario here. So if I was Blake and all of the leaders, which we've already seen them do now, all coming down pit road, I think this is a good call because these guys will be able to come out here and save a little bit. And if they can save some during this upcoming green flag run, it may actually dictate and change how much they have to take when they come down for their final stop here 15 to 18 laps from now, depending on where cautions fall and everything else of that nature.
And the more I think about that, Todd, what he just said there, I was kind of thinking, yeah, why would you give up track position now? But I think what he just said is brilliant there. I think knowing that you're still going to come down, everybody's going to come down one more time. If you come on the pit road now, it may dictate what your last pit stop is going to be. Those guys not coming to pit road may have to take a can and a half, but these guys coming in now, it may turn into half a can, 1 can. That could be the difference between the outhouse and the penthouse tonight here at Talladega.
Yeah, definitely could be the difference. And you're looking at like you said, your half can. your splash, maybe your splash and go, but I believe it's going to be half a can, probably going to be your less. If they stay green flag all the way there, Phil, and even Joe for that matter, yeah, I mean, I would come down on pit road just to try to make up some extra distance, be clutching it right now, just trying to get that advantage. If it turns into a field mileage race there where you can win it off of pit road, that's kind of what you want to do, gear towards that.
Yeah, I kind of like the calls. It looks like these guys may be on one to go. I believe they may be getting a green flag this time around. Trying to get the word from race control. I believe these guys are all reset here, ready for a restart. So it's going to be, John Poole III, Chris Wetz, Maverick Morrow, John Van Gorder, and David Schildhouse. The champ has rebounded to the top 5. 6 through 10, Derek Justice, Kevin McAdams, Brandon Lawson, Jason Justice, Taylor Morgan's your current top 10. During the restart zone, Todd, what do you say? We go back to green flag racing.
No, we're not going back. We're not going back to green flag racing. Now we're under slow. Slow the pace down just a little bit. Not sure what happened.
Sorry about that. Unplug the headset. Never a good idea here. Looks like the restart has been waved off. So, having it to get the field reset here. So, guys will take one more lap around it. And next time around, Todd will go back to green flag.
Yeah, just waiting as a restart was waved off there, and interesting call there. Is some issues came arise, and we'll have to go back to green flag and restack them here once again. Again, John Poole the third, and that number 30 machine, Chris Wetz, is in second. Third is the 57 of Maverick Morrow. Fourth is the 005 of John Van Gorder. David Schildhouse running fifth. Sixth, the 31 of Derek Justice. Seventh, the 26 of Kevin McAdams. Brandon Lawson's eighth. Ninth is Jason Justice, and 10th right now Taylor Morgan's. Blake McCandless just outside the top 10 right now, so we're just waiting for these guys to get ready to go back to green flag racing again. Corey Carpenter is being driven by, the number 30 is being driven by John Poole III, so you'll see Corey Carpenter on the screen. It's actually John Poole III behind the controls of that number 30 machine.
Well, it certainly is field in turns number 3 and 4, awaiting the green flag this time around here as these guys all reset, and I'm really looking forward to see how this race is going to shape up here. 26 laps to go when they take the green flag. We know these guys have to come to pit road at least one more time. Looking like the majority of the top 10, has elected to stay out here on this cycle. So the guys in the front are going to be in a little bit of different strategy from these guys on the back. So it'll be really curious to see what these guys do as far how they come in and make their last pit stop and when they come in. But let's see what's going to happen. Green flag's going to be in the air.
And just waiting to see that green flag be in the air. They're in the restart zone. Green flag's in the air. We're racing once again. Loud pedal is down. Super Speedway style here at the Talladega Super Speedway. The number 30 of Corey Carpenter being driven by John Poole III, I should say. Running down into turn number 1. He has help for the 57 of Maverick Morrow down on the bottom side of the Speedway. Lap and a half to get up the full song for these cars, though. And we're just waiting to see if that outside group is going to form once again. We're on lap 74 of 100.
74 of 100 down the back straightaway. Top 3 cars are broken out. Top side being led by Derek Justice to the outside. He's got help from Kevin McAdams out there. They've worked their way up to the third place position in line. They're trying to move forward side by side with Chris Wetz for third off of turn 4.
Yeah, side-by-side battle there momentarily between Chris Wetz and the 31 of Derek Justice. Justice now prevailed up to the second spot. Now almost up to the lead there with John Poole the third. And the 26 of Kevin McAdams pushing him all the way up through here. To the lead is the 31 of Derek Justice. He has a slight advantage coming down into turn number 1 over John Poole III. Kevin McAdams still right there on his rear bumper on the top side. John Poole III has help from the 57 of Maverick Morrow, but look at the run off of turn 2 down the back chute. The 31 of Derek Justice got an amazing run. He's to the lead.
2 by 2 by 2. 13 rows deep into turn 3. Justice gets out to the race lead. Here comes Kevin McAdams now. He's going to make the ditch move off into turn 3 and 4. The 26 Chevrolet to the low side. Maybe put Kevin McAdams to the lead. Well, maybe not. Here comes Taylor Morgan's almost 3 wide. down to the triangle.
We are 3 wide, all behind that 31 Baskin-Robbins sponsored machine down the front straightaway. 3 wide between Kevin McAdams. You got Taylor Morgan, you got Ryan Naraki. These guys are 3 wide, 3 or 4 rows deep, and these guys are racing like it's the last lap here. And it's only lap 76 and 100 there, Phil, down the back straightaway.
3 by 3 by 3 by 3. I mean, how cool is this down the back straightaway? Look at the outside lane with the strength of now Ryan Naraki in the outside lane. He's going to make the move into turn 3 with the race lead. So can Ryan Naraki pull it off tonight? 76 laps on the board. Here comes the middle line. Here comes that low side. Nobody having a clear-cut advantage. All chasing now the top side with the advantage. Ryan Naraki, the race lead off of turn 4.
Yeah, Ryan Naraki, the race leader, off of turn number 4 in that number 37 machine, but the 31 of Derek Justice trying to make way here through the middle portion of this event. The bottom line starting to fall off. Looks like the top group has become strong here up next to that wall. As we're waiting on Phil, he found a hot dog vendor out there at the Speedway. He's hungry again. He's sick of snacks. He wanted that hot dog, so he ran outside that building, but we're down the back straight away. The 37 of Ryan Naraki, still your current race leader with the 24 of Kyle Riley. He is running in that second spot right there in lockstep with that number 37. DJ Curtis running in that third spot. Here comes the number 83 now. He's going to battle for third, or battle for that fourth spot. Is now he's up to fourth is Noah Hart in that number 83 machine.
And Noah Hart's got the 83 up to the 4th spot. Sorry about there, Todd. Losing you there on my end here. Completely just lost all my feed here. No, was not swallowing a hot dog. No, we had the junk food here. We are all lacquered up, sugared up on Mountain Dew and stuff up here tonight, but just lost all my signal there to the racetrack. So I'm trying to get caught back up live, but I mean, it's wild up there now, but looks like the top side definitely prevailed. Ryan Naraki, the 37. He's their current race leader with Kyle Riley, DJ Curtis, Noah Hart, and Michael Frisch. I mean, how about this top 5? I mean, I don't think anybody could predicted this is how, if you had to pick from this field, how these guys would be running in the top 5 here with just outside of 20 laps to go. I don't think anybody out there predicted this, which just shows once again the nature of Talladega. It's anybody's race. Anytime you come to a super speedway, it's true. Anybody can come out there and win one of these things. You don't got to be the best race car driver. You just got to have luck and keep your notes clean, and maybe you could go to victory lane.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's a high-speed chess match, like you said, Phil. And you can't tell the fans out there in YouTube land that it wasn't for a hot dog, because you're a sucker for one of those big ballpark franks, and they got to be those all-beef big ballpark franks. So we know you went out there to go grab one of those, and you took that break. So don't be lying out there to the YouTube chat boxes. You swallowed that thing before you even got back here, so you think we wouldn't know, but we could smell it on you still. So the 37 of Ryan Naraki still race leading. Kyle Riley right there in lockstep. These guys have not been up front all evening long, like you said, Phil. And they're rising now to the top here of this race. We are on lap 80 of 100, and it's a difference between who's going to the comers and the goers here of Talladega. I mean, you've seen a lot of different guys up the front here with 20 to go.
Well, you certainly have, and you know these guys still got one more stop to make, so 80 laps going to go on the board here. So probably in about another 2 or 3 laps, I mean, these guys will be able to safely come into pit road on one more stop in about 2 laps. So, you know, the question is, you know, who's going to come in early, who's going to stay out and run that thing full that just came in. But what do you think there, Todd? I mean, with 24 cars left in the lead pack, Talladega is a racetrack. You know, you don't got to have the most talent in the world. Anybody can go out there and win super speedways night after night. But something you really need talent to do up here in the booth is make our full velocity picks this week. So I know we're in the last stage of the race. It's been a trying night. We had a delay. You know, anything could go wrong for these guys tonight. Certainly had. We tore up race cars, but let's see if we can't tear it up with some full velocity predictions up here.
Well, I believe Joe Allen finished last, and we're going to ask him the question first, and we're going to give him first. He finished last the last time out because of, well, we all finished the top 4. I just believe he did not finish last. I think his roles were reversed last time, but then again, if he didn't, I guess we're giving him a free pick. Is Joe, we're going to give you the first pick here tonight. Who's it going to be to win Talladega tonight?
All right, guys. Well, looking up and down the field, you know, as you say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good when you come to these super speedways. It's really anybody's race. This is one of those events where you can kind of put everybody on the same fair, even playing field and, go out there, find your partners, and do what you can do. I'm going to go with a guy that's a proven champion on Super Speedways, a proven winner. May not made a whole lot of noise here tonight so far, but he's up there leading this race, knowing we got at least one pit stop to go, and one of the best in the business at doing green flag pit stops if we get there. My pick's going to be the 31 of Derek Justice to go out there and win this thing tonight.
All right,
nice,
well, go ahead, Todd.
Nice solid pick there for that position. Derek Justice, the 31 for Joe Allen. We're going to throw it to Phil Lucas. He's going to actually pick second here tonight. I'm just going to throw him a curveball. I want to pick last here. I don't know. We're just going to give Phil a chance to.
All right, well, I picked the winner last week, so I wasn't supposed to go in the middle, but I guess for the sake of sport, we'll do so. So I really like Joe's pick of the 31. If I had to pick and he didn't pick Derek, I probably would have. But, knowing Derek was the SRA Draft King, picked that up one night ago, won the championship. I think he's proven here at Talladega. But just looking up and down the rest of the list up here, looking at guys having a good run, I mean, this week, keeping up in the NR community, I think Rick Johnson, the 193, he's, had a really successful week. A guy we don't give a whole lot of acclaim to, but a really good driver in his own right. I'm going to pick Rick Johnson, the 193 there. Maybe a dark horse pick, but I like the vibe he's got at Talladega this week. I like the look of race car. I know he's made some good moves, so I'm going to pick Rick Johnson. Going to go to victory lane.
Oh, that was another good solid pick there. Last week I picked the champ. David Schildhouse, and I think I'm going to put the pressure off him. He don't like the super speedways that much. He would much enjoy to be up here in the booth with us. But I tell you what, there's a guy out there that's trying to make it 5 times up here in the booth. 5 times. That's Kevin McAdams in that number 26. He snookered it in there. And I'm going to pick number 26 of Kevin McAdams. That's going to be my pick. His yellow flag does come out. I'm going to throw it down in the YouTube chat box. The wreck just happened. Yellow flag is out. So our picks tonight are Joe Allen has the 31 of Derek Justice. Phil has Rick Johnson in the 193. I have Kevin McAdams in the 26. YouTube chat box, your turn to pick. Who's going to win here tonight? I know you have a favorite out there. Who's it going to be?
Well, I can almost tell you who it's not going to be, and that's the guys who probably just got involved in a little bit of calamity off of turn number 2 there. Joe, they were kind of well off the lead pack, but issues going on there. It looks like a round full of Brandon Lawson and Andrew Swartz. Those guys were all the way back in 22nd, but still racing hard, and there was contact out there off of turn 2.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and this is one of those situations where this is a painful caution to have happen when you're up running the lead pack, the front 24, 25 guys that are over a straightaway away from guys that are running in the back. These guys well off the pace, involved in accidents all night or some other issues in their own right. This is just unfortunate caution here. Coming down through the middle of turns 1 and 2, we see the 67 of Andrew Swartz just get all over the bumper, lift the rear wheels of the 9 of Brandon Lawson off the ground, and that causes a chain reaction crash between him, the 67, and the 0. Just a tough break. This is something you never want to see. These guys, they're racing in their own right, in their own respect. They're allowed to do that, but this is something that I know the leaders did not want to see. Getting close to those green flag pit stops here, and this will bunch everything back up together. This is just an unfortunate incident for these guys, and mistakes happen. So that is the I believe that's our 5th or 6th caution on the evening. I think I could be wrong, but that's why we're under caution again here tonight, guys. This should bring these guys down for their final pit stop, and we'll get everybody recycled back around and 2x2 for another restart here, and hopefully we'll get down to the end of this thing. The real racing is just picking up. It's just about to start. Back up to you guys in the booth.
If it wasn't exciting enough already, it just got a little more entertaining. The anticipation level just went to a whole new level. We reset it here, tried to set the stage, who's going to be on different fuel consumptions, who's going to be on different cycles, and we get a caution now, Todd, in the last 15 laps at Talladega. It's going to bring everybody to pit road, everybody an equal, playing field as far as fuel, guys having the leisure to come in and take, whatever they want for tires and recycle. And we saw 4 wide racing for stage 1. We saw 3 wide racing for the win of stage 2. And now you put the checkered flag on the line and the end of night points and championship implications to it. Can this the absolute gruesomeness of the intensity of the race pick up any more in these last 15 laps than it's about to?
The intensity is going to indeed pick up here at super speedways, and like we said, I keep hearing the phrase that it's no talent super speedway racing, and I tell you what, there's a lot of talent that goes into a super speedway race out there, as far as knowing your teammates and knowing who to draft with. And knowing your lanes and how to stay into those drafting lines, different things like that. There's a different kind of talent than maybe a short track or a 1.5 mile track. Super speedway racing has a different type of talent that you have to drive this race, and the mentality to drive these racetracks is the Talladega Super Speedway, even the Daytona Super Speedway or Daytona Speedway. It's different. You have to learn how to play those roles. It's a different type of talent. You have to be thinking at the top of your game every single lap, because it could happen in a blink of an eye. That major wreck could happen. Yeah, you may not be able to have to turn and worry about tire wear, but super speedway is way different type of racing out there. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys are all going to play their strategies, who they're going to partner up with, who they're going to leave out as we get down in here. And like you said, drama implications. We've had a lot of that tonight, and I believe it's going to start picking up once again here with like 14 to go. It's going to be interesting. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing.
Well, what do you think? I mean, we talk about drama and implications. Well, how about aggression now? I think we're going to see some aggressive moves here, and we know aggressive goes around. So let's see how this restart is going to play out. Derek Justice, Taylor Morgan's on the front row, Kevin McAdams, Jason Justice, Kyle Riley, Ryan Araki, your top half dozen. They hit the restart zone, winning the green flag, and there's the call, Todd. Green flag racing back in the air. 87 laps up on the scoreboard, so a little less than 13 laps left to go.
A little less than 13 laps to go. Derek Justice now has the lead from the help of his brother, racing Jason Justice. He's running in that second spot in the number 16 machine. Is he going to stay behind him? Does the brother thing matter at a super speedway? I know they both want to win. I know if I'm racing my family member, I'm going to try to go around him myself. I'll push him to the bitter end until that last lap. Then it's not going to matter. It's all going to go out the window. Friendships, any relationship that you have with the driver in front of you. You want to win that race just as bad as anybody else. We're on the Full Velocity Network. We want to win the FTF race. We just want to go down in history here. So Ryan Naraki now starting the top side. He's trying to break up this duo up front here. Jason Justice and Derek Justice. Ryan Naraki running on the top side of the speedway with the 26, Kevin McAdams. Now Ryan Naraki going to lead this time by. It looks like that bottom groove really slow right now.
Yeah, it's kind of slow, but what it is up top, and Joe just made mention of it, the entire Speed Inc. team is on the top side, all shoving forward there. Naraki, McAdams, Justin Malello, all those guys, Kyle Riley's up there as well. I mean, those guys all locked 1 through 4 on the top side. So you talked about it, Todd, knowing where your teammates are, having your dance partner, and you call that a skill in a super speedway. But if it is, those guys have all found each other, and all those guys trying to make way to victory lane, but the inside lane not going away. You've got the brothers Justice to the inside. Taylor Morgan's is there, and how about Rick Johnson? He snuck his way into the fray as well. 2x2x2 all the way from first back to 27th off of turn 4.
It's definitely a skill and definitely a technique once you find your partners. It's a technique of how to draft and how to stay close to one another and try to be able to take over some of these guys on the bottom side. So you're going to have to pinch them down just a little bit. Try to take their run away just a little bit. Then you're on the back bumper. You're pushing. You're shoving. You got to know when to push. You got to know when to shove. And the better you work together as one, you're going to go to the front here, and that's what the Speed Inc. guys are doing up top. They're all Mountain Dew labels on there. It's interesting to see all that. Mountain Dew, my favorite drink of choice here for anything that I've ever had. Everything that I've had Mountain Dew wise, I've never been disappointed with.
No, and I'm paging Dr. Dew because I could certainly use another one here for these last 30 dozen laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway with Doritos 500K presented by Mountain Dew. Race number 5 for the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs. Race number 2 for the UFI Round of 12, setting the stage for an elimination race next week at Kansas. Who's it going to be to walk out of here in victory lane? Who's going to have that comfortable buffer with playoff points? Who's going to be on that nervous cut line, having to race their way to position there in that round of 8 next week when we get to Kansas? Well, we're going to find out in about 10 laps. They are 2x2x2 all over Talladega. Top side so far prevailing. Ryan Naraki up there up front, but The Justice Brothers in that inside lane, Todd, they are not going away. 10 laps to go at the line.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, and it's a pretty peaceful feeling right now. They're only 2 by 2, and that's just a hit. That's the calm. That's the calm before the storm. I'm telling you that right now as they're 2 by 2. As you're going to start see 3 and 4 wide, these guys got to win a race. So we're down the back straightaway right now. Looks like Naraki going to take over that top spot once again. The bottom line just fading just a little bit there. Is Kevin McAdams getting a good push with Ryan Naraki into turn 3.
Yeah, good push there. I'm glad our viewers don't hear the off-air communication because they just got a really bad rendition of me singing the Eagles off the air. You give me that peaceful, easy feeling there, Todd, talking about these guys that's all nestled in line. I mean, when is the chaos and the carnage going to ensue here? Is, these guys running around 2 by 2 by 2, but who's it going to be to make the move to the third lane? I'm thinking if you're going to win this race right now, you're going to have to make a bold move. It may have to come from a top side, so it may not be too long at all before we put these things 3 wide. But how deep in the field, Todd, can you be to win this race right now? And how much longer do you got to wait before you can afford to make that move if you're going to pull something off?
Oh, you could be as deep in the field as 25th right now and win this race. They're only a second separating the leader. And second place, or 25th place, Sonny Tallman is that's only a second, 1.190. So you can win this race from 25th position. I don't know when you want to start moving. I don't like to give away my secrets, but I'd start moving right around lap number 5 if I was starting way back, starting up to the top side. You start seeing that guy form up top, so you're starting to see that third line start to form. You got to make some headway there. We're gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen up top.
Well, I'll ask Joe the same question I just asked you. Since Todd doesn't want to give away the secrets, Joe, and trying to remember the last time Todd did win on a super speedway, but knowing you're a guy who's won recently, I mean, how long do you wait if you're mid-pack before you got to make something happen, and what line do you think it's going to happen in?
We've seen the very top third groove line be really strong here late in the run, especially if you can get the right combination of guys up there. We see 5 or 6 cars that are starting to form up there. I think if you're about mid-pack, right around the 6th lap to go range is when you really need to start thinking about making your move. Those guys are in lockstep up front, and I have to take that into consideration as we see that starting to happen now. You never know where lines are going to move, where guys are going to go where, but we're well within a legal blocking scenario as well, so you have to take that into account with these guys being able to throw blocks on you, and that could really cause some disastrous issues. As I say that, they're wrecking in the back. That's going to, I believe, put us under caution here. They do race back with 10 to go. They are wrecking in the back, so I think we're going to have a little bit of a shootout to end this thing as well, guys. I'll let you take the call back as they race back.
All right, I believe yellow flag may be out here. Caution is out. They are going to indeed race back to the line. There was some discussion there off air if the yellow was going to be thrown, but yellow flag is out. And who is going to win this race back to the line? I mean, this isn't yet the race. I mean, we're going to see a good little shootout here, and what better way to settle it at Talladega. But off of turn 4 through the trioval, down toward the start-finish line, who's going to win the race back to the caution? Looks like it's going to be Ryan Naraki, the 37, and that's just going to set the stage here for what is going to be a wild last couple of laps. And, I mean, how many are there going to be? Are there going to be 2? Are there going to be 3? I mean, FTF is known for quickie caution, so I don't know if it could get any more exciting, Todd. And we talk about intensity. I mean, holy crap, man. This is going to be insane.
Definitely going to be insane. And unfortunately, some of those guys were involved in that wreck. But I'm going to throw it down to Joe Allen. Joey the Jet. He's down there in the broadcast trailer. He's got the queued up and ready for the full velocity rewind.
Yes, sir, guys. Hopefully the last rewind of the evening. That's what we hope for. We want to see these guys end this thing under green. Anticipating probably a quickie yellow here. They usually don't review things within 10 to go to give these guys enough time to race. But we're going to focus on the 30. That's John Poole, the 39, Arnold Columbia. It looks like John Poole, all over the back bumper, the 14 of Colin Keister, backs off a little bit. Didn't want to cause an accident. Contact with the 39 of Arnold Columbia. There's the 51 of Michael Frisch back there, I believe, is his name. And then Blake McCandless, championship contender, needed to have a good run here. Slaps hard the outside wall there. See the 67 of Arnold Schwartz is back there. Or Andrew Schwartz, I'm sorry. So a couple championship guys back there. But just these guys bumping and banging, 7th, 8th in line on the top side there. Trying to do everything they can to get these lines moving. And unfortunately, that's what brought out our caution here tonight. But if there's one thing we can look forward to now, it's going to be an exciting last 5 laps here that we have coming up. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, and I'm staggered to see a bunch of guys come onto pit road. I saw the likes of Malello down there, Arnold Columbia. You know, just the list of guys, Todd, there were probably a good half a dozen to a dozen cars on pit road, and I didn't think we'd see any of those right now. What do you think these guys are thinking that may be coming down right now?
Oh, I don't know why they came down pit road. I'm kind of questioning. Maybe they were kind of short on fuel. That's the only thing I can think of, and I'm just kind of in awe. Oh, you know, Phil, as we were talking and discussing in the background, and kind of popped in my head at the same time you guys already said it. Those guys are all admins, so they'll be back out on the track. They can't take anything that's going on there. They are reviewing that wreck, so they're all on pit road for good reason right now. We're trying to figure out what went on here and what the call is going to be on that wreck, and good discussion in the background leads to a good answer.
Well, I guess so. And, looking at the list of guys that came down pit road, it was basically all the brass of the FTF Jones Cup Series. So, these guys at FTF do an amazing job with this series. Probably the most realistic, most competitive Cup Series there is out there. And these guys do a great job here. But when there's disputes on caution flags, so there's contact and guys can't figure out who may be at the fault, who's going to take a penalty, these guys do an outstanding job. They'll all migrate onto pit road under the caution. They'll all take a look at their replays, and they'll all collectively as a group make the correct call and, assign where the proper blame to the incidents goes and put the guys where they're supposed to be. So I didn't think of that, Todd, but I guess that's the reason those guys came to pit road. And, by way of rule for all them guys, they're going to get their spot back. So it's just going to bring intensity for us to a whole new level. They'll get back resituated, and hopefully here at the line we'll get the one to go signal, because I want to see more green flag racing than laps under the yellow.
Yeah, me too. I want to see the green flag racing. I want to see this thing under green flag conditions. And I tell you what, you still got the Speed Inc. guys. You got Ryan Naraki, you got Kevin McAdams. They're going to be either on the outside or inside group. I believe Naraki may choose the inside group. Who knows when that goes, and that's going to be interesting to see, because Derek Justice started really, really well up top. But you got Jason Justice also there. You got Kyle O'Reilly. You got Taylor Morgans. You got Rick Johnson. Some of these guys are starting to catch back up. So, but we're under one to go here, Phil, and we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It's one of those things. Who's going to win this race and march themselves into the round of 8, the SRA round of 8, or who's not going to win this race? It could be a guy that's not even in the championship.
Well, it could be, but looking at the guys that are in the championship hunt that have just had struggles of a night, of course, Colin Keister trying to make the best of his run. Andrew Schwartz has had just a horrendous night in the 67. Blake McCandless has been tore up. I mean, Matt Vassars has had an awful night. David Schildhouse has been tore up. So I can't wait to talk to either Justin or Kevin or whoever's going to join us on the post-race show and, update how our standings are going to look going into Kansas next week. So I think the whole situation is going to be tore upside down. I think we're going to see some situations and some guys playing for their lives next week that we're maybe not be accustomed to doing that. But you look at the 12 names that are out here on the line. I mean, these are 12 of the top names this community has to offer. So let's see how it's going to play out and who's it going to be. The field working its way off of turn number 4, Ryan Naraki, Derek Justice, Kevin McAdams, Jason Justice will be your top 2 rows. I believe we've got a little 3-lap shootout here at Talladega to settle it. What do you say there, Todd?
Yeah, 3-lap shootout, and it's going to be a barn burner, to say the least, at the Talladega Super Speedway, just waiting for that green flag. Green flag is out. We're racing here. Loud pedals down once again. Naraki seems to spun his tires just a little bit. That's going to give headway to Derek Justice up on the top side with Jason Justice. Oh, what a whale of a run that Derek has up top. But here comes the Speed Inc. guys back down to the bottom side. You got the 37 in Naraki and the 26 of Kevin McAdams coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that's where the story for the 37 on the restarts all night. Seems to just be slow off the get-go, but having the benefit of 3 teammates behind him, trying to shove him up to speed, see if the inside lane can't come back and make it happen, but the outside lane has the advantage now. It is the 31 of Derek Justice, his brother Jason right there in tow. Taylor Morgan's also in the outside lane. Rick Johnson there as well, 2 wide. Now 3 wide there for that second spot off of turn 4.
Yeah, 3 wide momentarily off of turn number 3 or turn number 4 down into the trioval. It looks like Ryan Naraki, his number 37, is still leading here. He's got help from Kevin McAdams. Now Naraki goes down to block the number 79 there on the bottom side. Now Kevin McAdams stuck all by his lonesome in the middle. Is he going to make a charge for it up through the middle? Now Naraki comes back up in front of McAdams, gets a one whale of a bump. Oh, Derek Justice gets a bump from Jason almost into the outside wall. Look at the run down the back straightaway for the outside line.
Yeah, outside lane has the numbers right now. The 79 on the inside trying to make something happen. That is Spencer Gilmore. Have not talked about the 79 all night long, but he finds himself in the closing laps in a position to maybe win this thing up in the top 3. 3 wide for the race lead through the trioval, coming to the white flag.
White Silk is going to be in the air for your current race leaders, Derek Justice. It's his race to lose here as he's out in front of all these guys. He can block them. He can do a 3-lane block down into turn number 1, but here comes Ryan Naraki down to the inside. He's on the bottom. Here comes the 79 of Spencer Gilmore. 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide for the lead. I mean, what better way to settle it off of turn number 4? Outside lane, middle lane getting the run, the inside starting to fade just a little bit as they hit the turn number 3. Justice peeking out with the advantage. Naraki is there. Naraki now makes the move. Justice with the block there too. 3 wide. Who's it going to be off of turn 4?
Naraki down to the bottom side. He's in front of Spencer Gilmore. The 31 of Derek Justice trying to motor back in the middle groove. He's got help from the 26. Contact made. The 36 of Morgan saves it 4 wide down into the trioval.
Start finish line, checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Ryan Naraki picking up the victory here at Talladega. He will win the Doritos 500K. Spencer Gilmore, I mean, he almost pulled the upset. He'll bring the 79 home second. Jason Justice third, Derek Justice fourth, and Noah Hart is fifth. And what a wild finish, man. I am exhausted. What awesome job by these guys. I mean, it was a race that was filled with it's chaos and delay tonight, but you can't ask for better racing than this at Talladega.
Yeah, and it's all about the guy who wanted it the most there at the end. And unfortunately, Derek went down to go pull a block, and Ryan Naraki switched lanes quick enough in front of the right guy, and that was Spencer Gilmore, and he propelled him to the win here in that number 37 machine. So good job to Ryan Naraki. The 31 and the 16 also had good points tonight. So for that round of 8 there. So they're just padding their cushion just a little bit, trying to make it into that SRA round of 8. Good finish here. 4 wide, 3 wide. An amazing show here tonight for the FTF Doritos 500K from the Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, how about the run for these guys? Speed Inc. going to victory lane with the number 37 of Ryan Naraki. I mean, at a solid car all night long, got a really, really good, solid team. A lot of great championship caliber drivers, and what a run by Ryan Naraki there. See if we can't catch up with him. See if we can't get the 79 of Spencer Gilmore, and we'll see if we can't get screened out here just a second with our top 3 being Jason Justice. So trying to get them all screened out. You know, guys are just spread out all over their assorted team channel, so it takes us here just a couple of seconds to locate them all and get them down in the standby mode. But I think, Todd, we're ready to move toward the post-race show. We'll let Joe get the victory lane and talk to our race winner, Ryan Naraki. I'll run down and see if we can't get Spencer Gilmore, but I'll throw it to you, Todd. I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher, the number 16, Jason Justice. What an awesome run there, and I'm sure he's going to be pretty proud of that top 3.
Yeah, I'm down here with Jason Justice, driver the number 16 Bud Light Ford Fusion. Jason, I've coined you Racing Jason Justice for a reason. You finished up here in the top 3. Good points night here, and that's what it takes here to get you into the SRA round of 8. A good points night at Talladega. You never know what's going to happen. You have a stage win here tonight and a 3rd place finish, podium finish here. Tell us about your race and how you did that.
It took a lot of dedicated teamwork and a lot of faithful people. We really worked well with Derek all race. Didn't get a chance to work with my Vast House teammates too much there, but I have to see where they finished and see how they fared. But it worked really well with Derek and Taylor, and they stuck with me all the way up to the very end. And when that last lap comes, it's every man for themselves. I don't blame Derek one bit for trying to take the win for himself. I think that's what he should have done. But a solid point stay is what we needed to, well, like I said earlier, survive and advance is what it's all about.
Yeah, now we look at Kansas, and Kansas, a track that takes a little bit more tire conserving and all different kinds of things. It's a 1.5 mile cookie cutter track. It's usually one of those tracks that's kind of in your stable there, Jason. I've seen you really strong on the 1.5 mile tracks since I've seen you been racing for Blazing Pedal. But tell us about your strategy going in to next week. The 1.5 mile track versus the super speedway. I mean, you got this one out of the way. Now you're just out there to get points, or you're going to go out for that win, or you're going to take it kind of easy?
Anytime we can get some extra playoff points, that's what we got to shoot for. If we can steal a stage win or even go for the victory late, that's what we got to do. I think we're sitting pretty good on points, but we can't just assume anything. These stage points that your people can earn. If we have a bad race next week at Kansas, we're going to have to fall back on the good race that we had today and the mediocre race that we had at Charlotte. But if we can get a couple more stage points and survive it, it's going to really mean a lot there going to the round of 8.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to give you the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank whoever you'd like to thank the guy here tonight.
I'd like to thank the FTF staff for doing everything they can to get this race in. I know they had a few issues here and there, but I'm an administrator myself, so I know the growing pains and the issues that can come with that, and that's just part of it. A lot of people have shown a tremendous amount of patience, and that cannot be underappreciated. Being an admin is a very thankless job, so I appreciate what those guys are doing. You guys here at FVN, you guys put on a stellar show every time out. Really appreciate you guys hosting every single race here in the playoffs here at FTF. And thank you to all my Vast House teammates for giving me an awesome ride, and we're glad to be able to put it on the podium.
Again, that's the driver of the number 16 Bud Light Ford Fusion Racing, Jason Justice, bringing home 3rd place tonight and a good points finish for the SRA Round of 8 as he works his way towards the SRA Round of 8. But I'm going to throw it down to Phil Lucas, who's caught up with our 2nd place finisher tonight. And I tell you what, he's going to be ecstatic. That's Spencer Gilmore down there. He finishes 2nd tonight. Phil, take it away.
Yes, sure did. Spencer Gilmore here joining me aboard the 79, the first time we've ever got to interview him on our airwaves. So first of all, Spencer, welcome to the Full Velocity Network. And you were 1 car away from pulling that thing. I mean, looked down, I said, who the heck is the white car in the inside lane? And it was your ride. And I'm like, holy crap, he may win this thing. So you got to be excited, man. Congratulations. What a great 2nd place run for you.
Dude, a 2nd place at FTF is like a win to me. And, well, considering I haven't won in almost a year, hey, I will take this. It was just a really fun race overall. There were some times where I did lose the draft because of a dumb move I made, but I was able to make some right moves, make some right calls. I was able to work with the right people, and hey, I'm just really happy right now. I really have nothing to say. I'm just proud of what I was able to do tonight.
No, we're all proud of you, man. You had a heck of a run out there. I mean, you're out there with some of the best that this community has ever seen. And you come to Talladega, it's anybody's race up there. If the cards fall in your lap, you play the luck right. You keep the thing out of trouble. You could be Spencer Gilmore tonight. You could be in the runner-up position. So, I mean, tell us what it's like out there trading paint with some of the best of the best. Of course, at Talladega, it gets hairy out there 2, 3, and we saw a whole lot of full wide racing tonight for the guys like you, me, myself, who don't get to do this an awful lot, being on the top 3 and up there racing for wins. I mean, it's got to be a big confidence booster for a guy like you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like racing 3, 4 wide like that when everybody is literally a centimeter away from you, it makes you go, "Oh no, this can't be good." And just seeing how crazy that they all drive, it makes you wonder if they're going to crash or if they're going to save it or if something's going to happen. You just don't know. But I mean, hey, that's just the unpredictability of super speedway racing, and you got to take with what you got.
Well, absolutely right. Well, Spencer Gilmore, congratulations on a 2nd place run here tonight. I'm going to give you the microphone one more time. I want to let you have a chance to give a shout out to all your friends, your fans, your sponsors, your family, whoever may be out there watching you tonight here live on Full Velocity, buddy.
Well, I really just want to thank Noah Hart and DJ Curtis for working with me throughout this, and I did share the stream with a couple of my friends. So if you guys are watching, hey, I hope you stuck around to actually watch the whole thing. And if you did, I love you guys. So yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, Spencer Gilmore, man, let's do this again sometime. Congratulations on the second place, man. Man, good job. So proud of you. And celebrate this, man. These are hard to come by, so especially at FTF. So good job, my friend. Let's do this again sometime.
No problem.
All right. Spencer Gilmore bringing you home second place tonight. And we know we got a happy race car driver there, but we got one more to talk to. And Joe Allen, a new winner for us on Full Velocity. And knowing the gang of guys he calls teammates down there, it is going to be a party for the Speed Inc. guys in Victory Lane. So you got our race winner, Ryan Naraki. Take it away, Joe.
I do, guys. Dodging the Mountain Dew showers, the Gatorade Victory Lane showers, the confetti, and everything else you could possibly imagine mixed in all in one here down in Victory Lane. Ryan Naraki, first time on the airwaves here in Victory Lane with us. Congratulations. As a guy that's raced in FTF before, I know that even a top 5 finish in this league of stout and stellar drivers is an accomplishment in itself. But to go out here and steal a victory during the 2017 playoffs from some of those guys up there, man, tell us what's going through your head right now.
Yeah, it was a great race, fantastic race all around. My teammates really carried me. Kyle Riley, Justin Willis, Kevin McAdams. I'm definitely the low man there, and those are guys that can win every week. And I'm out here just trying to get top 15s whenever I can, trying to do my part. And these are the races where I can really contribute to the team and make really contribute to the whole team and make the whole team run better. And I found myself in the position, and we talked before the race, and we were going to be in line at the end, and we were going to push whoever happened to be the leader of the line, and that was me. And they stuck with me all the way. They never wavered for a second. And at the end there, I had to abandon them and put a big block on Spencer, and he hit me, and we were able to keep it going. I know he'd have done the same in my spot. So it was just a great race and a really meaningful win.
Absolutely, and to do it during the playoff, that really shakes a lot of things up. You potentially took away a win from a guy running for championship points here that would have locked them into the next round. So you just add that to the wrinkle on how this thing unfolds. But nevertheless, congratulations. Before I let you go, tell us about throughout the race we saw a lot of 3-wide and sometimes 4-wide racing from a guy that's done super speedways myself, and I know the rest of us up here in the booth have done it as well. I can only imagine for 3 or 4 laps, however long that we saw a 4-wide battle going on. Tell us about how the racing itself was out on the racetrack all night. We saw a little bit of a different weather pattern, running the 0 degrees and some high speeds. Tell us how everything felt while you guys were out there. It looked pretty racy.
Yeah, the stage racing has just changed everything. I mean, normally we'd have sat in the back. A good chunk of the field would have sat in the back. But, we got Kevin still in the playoffs, and all of us want to run up front for the stages and take points away from other guys that aren't on our team. So that's what caused that. That 4-wide there would have never happened if not for this stage racing that we've implemented this year. And, man, it made it exciting. The fact that we were able to run 4 abreast there for 3 laps and not wreck, that really is a testament to the skill level of this entire league. This is the best league in all of NR 2003, and we have a lot to be proud of. Tonight was a really great night.
Well, absolutely. Well, Ryan, as tradition here on the Full Velocity Network, I'm going to give you the microphone one last time. I know you got a bunch of teammates that are happy for you. Any friends or family that may watch back the broadcast when it's archived, if you want to give a shout-out to anybody else, the floor is all yours, my friend.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I started FTF Racing. A lot of people don't know. It was founded by myself and Kevin and Justin and Kobe Waits with the IndyCar League way back, many years ago. We started this thing just to have some fun among us, and we had, I think, 15 cars for that season. And what it's grown into, I'm just so proud of. And, it's been, probably 10 years now between those leagues. And I've probably run 300 races under FTF and SNA banner, and never won a race. And so this means a lot to me. And although I'm not in the administrative group anymore, I still feel a piece of ownership of this league, and it just makes me so proud to see how well it's doing. And for me to get a win tonight it's really special.
Alrighty, well, once again, congratulations from all of us here at the Full Velocity Network, Ryan, and look forward to hopefully talking with you again sometime in the future.
Yeah, we'll be back in victory lane at Daytona. That's the plan.
There you go, guys. That's a very happy Ryan Naraki. First win on the Full Velocity Network. First win, I believe, in FTF in their Jones Cup Series. So huge congratulations from all of them. Phil, Todd, I don't know about you guys. I know y'all called the race for most of the night. I'm exhausted. I'm sure you guys are exhausted. We got Justin Malilla back up there catching up with you guys. I think he's got an update on points for us. So I'm going to throw it for one last time this evening. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Joe, fantastic job down there. It was definitely a trying night for all of us getting out of the gate, but Justin Malillo is going to join us, and you guys put one hell of a show on. A little bit of, rain short in here tonight, but it definitely didn't lack for excitement, and saw a lot of guys with championship hopes getting tore up tonight. So without further ado, Justin Malillo, the floor is all yours. Give us our update on the UFI round of 12 and what is elimination night shaping up to look like next week at Kansas.
Before I get into the points, first I want to apologize to you guys. I want to apologize to everybody who raced here tonight, and apologize to everybody who was tuning in for the very long night. We had some track difficulties that were ironed out earlier this season, and just they didn't make their way to the new track. So I'm really embarrassed about that. That's not how FTF works and operates. But nonetheless, we got going here. We had quite a few cautions, a lot more than I personally would have liked. But overall, between all the ups and downs, I was able to help my longtime friend, Ryan Naraki, with our team. We were able to get him his first win here, and I think he told you guys that he started up FTF with me and Kevin and Kobe so many years ago. So he's not in the daylight, the spotlight anymore, but it's really emotional to see him finally get a win on this caliber. It means a lot. But nonetheless, let me get into the points. That's what I'm here for. Just need to get that off my chest, and thank you for giving me the platform to do so. We all know Taylor's moving on. Taylor Morgans, he won last week, so he is locked in. He's still leading the points by a bunch. Then we got Kevin McAdams. He's the first one in on points currently. He's got a 50-point cushion over the cut line. Derek Justice, he is next up. And if I do my math correctly, he's got a 34-point cushion over the cut line. With a 33-point cushion, it is Colin Keister. 27 points ahead is David Schildhaus. 23 points ahead is Jason Justice. Then we got 12 points ahead, Maverick Morrow. And then 4 points ahead, the final person in over the cut line is Chris Wetz. Then we got 4 points out, it's Corey Carpenter. And Corey tonight, he wasn't in his car. He was traveling around, and he thankfully was able to get John Poole to jump into his car. And although at the end that it didn't really work out as far as the caution went, and the car had to go to the back, still he's within reach, only 4 points out. Andrew Schwartz is 10th. He's 12 points out. Blake McCandless, he moves up a spot. He is 11th, and he is 19 points out. And our final person in the playoff standings, the UFI round of 12, is Matt Vassar. He's 21 points behind the cut line. So it's going to be interesting next week. Corey, Andrew, Blake, Matt, all capable of winning. I know that Corey's got to win this season. Andrew, Blake, and Matt are winless thus far, but all have shown the ability to go up there and race at the top, and definitely could see any one of those four pulling into victory lane next week at Kansas, which gives Maverick and Chris a little bit of a worry. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a hell of an exciting time.
Well, it certainly is. Well, Justin, once again, I know we had some issues here getting on and getting rolling tonight, but be proud of the product you guys ultimately put on racing. It was one fantastic show. It was a long night for all of us, but you guys will get this right. Kansas is going to be electric next week, and we can't wait to get there. And looking at the race calendar, it also says Joe Nemechek won here once upon a time. So we'll see you next week at Kansas, buddy. Let's do this again next week.
Hey, if Joe Nemechek can win there, anybody can. Am I right? But thanks, guys. Thanks for all you do, and I look forward to next week.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, Justin Malala, we've got our nightly points update here. We're halfway home in the FTF Jones Cup Series playoffs there, Todd. 5 races in, 5 to go, and holy smokes, dude. If the last couple of weeks haven't been nuts, if the race at Talladega tonight wasn't exciting, eliminations at Kansas next week, and then the SRA round of 8. I mean, if the first 5 haven't done justice, the last 5 are it's going to be terrific. Can't wait.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to, no more super speedways in that little just of thing. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it's all gonna play out. We have some short tracks, we have some cookie cutter tracks coming up. So we're gonna wait and see how that's definitely gonna play out, Phil, because you just never know. And next week we lose 4 more. So if one of those guys below that cut line can win, one of the guys that are above that cut line are gonna be out. So it's gonna be interesting to say all 4 of those guys, I believe, below that cut line have to win next week.
I think you're absolutely right. So we move on from Talladega for the Jones Cup Series, but the FEN guys, we're going to stay here at Talladega one more night. If this wasn't enough for you, we're going to go truck racing, iRacing style tomorrow night. Back over to our friends at Full Throttle Sim Racing. The opening of the brand new truck series for FTSR tomorrow night, airtime 9 p.m. right here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and back on the air here with the Jones Cup Series next Sunday night. Elimination race from the Kansas Speedway. So check out our full schedule on our webpage, fullvelocitynetwork.com. Book your date now. Dates are filling up fast. Dates in October and November still available. So if you'd like to get your league on FEN, go on over to the website, book us now, and we'd love to showcase all you got going on. So on behalf of Joe Allen, we all had a trying night. It was a long night, but an awesome, outstanding job at the controls, the absolute best in the business. Todd Stanton, my longtime broadcast partner. I cannot do this without him night after night. He's the absolute best color guy there is. My name is Phil Lacasse. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Full Velocity Network, the best in sim race broadcast for a maximum impact showcase. Check us out, fullvelocitynetwork.com. We'll see you next time.